It's time for Twig. This week in Google, Jeff Jarvis, Stacey Higginbotham are here. Aunt Pruitt is back in town. Coming up, the end of DPReview. We play a little bit with Google's brand new AI, BARD. Blackberry, the trailer is coming. 3D printed pie and lo-fi air traffic control. It's going to be a fun one. Twig is next.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twig. This is Twig. This week in Google, episode 708, recorded Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023. That ain't cheesecake. This episode of This Week in Google is brought to you by Bitwarden. Get the password manager that offers a robust and cost-effective solution that drastically increases your chance of staying safe online. Get started with a free trial of a Teams or Enterprise plan, or get started for free across all devices as an individual user at bitwarden.com/twit. Thanks for listening to this show. As an ad-supported network, we are always looking for new partners with products and services that will benefit our qualified audience. Are you ready to grow your business? Reach out to advertise@twit.tv and launch your campaign now. It's time for Twig This Week in Google, the show that's everything but Google. Aunt Pruitt's back. We missed you, Aunt. Thank you for coming back to us. We appreciate it. Were you in New Orleans? Sir. Was that the New Orleans conference that you were at? No.
No, not this time. This was just, I was off to be off.
A vacation? A vacation? Yeah. How dare you? Well, we missed you.
I had to sneak one in before you left. I tried to sneak it in because I figured you wouldn't catch it.
I'll be leaving a week from Friday for 3 weeks, just to let you know. It's not an April Fool's joke. And is the host of Hands On Photography, and now more than ever, we need help, but I'll tell you why in a second. Jeff Jarvis is also in the house. He is, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Leonard Tao Professor for Journalistic Innovation at the Craig Newmark Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of New York.
Leo, may I propose, even though it's not a democracy?
Please
You
propose.
Are the dictator.
I will marry you
special
any day.
Introduction for Stacey, line 86.
And ladies and gentlemen, in the house, line 86, just for Stacey, I give you this TikTok.
Oh, your sound's not up.
You what?
I just can't stop thinking about waffles.
Same, child. So we're gonna eat.
You had waffles for dinner and waffles for breakfast, so you're going to eat something else. He says, why
Waffles
can't I? Wait a minute, go back to it. Hold on.
Go back. It's
She's not
short.
done yet.
I just stop dreaming about waffles.
Dreaming about them. Poor girl. She cannot stop dreaming about waffles. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Stacey Higginbotham as a child. Stacey on IoT.com.
As a child, that's me now.
That's her now.
All through the show, she's dreaming about waffles.
I just can't stop dreaming about waffles. Waffles are very, very good.
And you know what? They can be savory or sweet. Good for breakfast, good for dinner, good for dessert.
They can
good
do
for
it
lunch.
all. A waffle. There's nothing a waffle can't do.
Indeed.
Slap them on a wound, it'll heal.
Have you
twice
ever
as
had
fast.
waffles and dingus in New York?
Dingus?
Was it dingus? No.
Dingus. I think it means things.
It means
what
a
it means.
thing. Waffles and dingus?
And dingus.
Where would you get waffles and dingus, if I might ask?
There's all around the streets of New York.
Do you mean?
No,
They
Jeff.
ship nationwide, Leo.
We ship nationwide. Oh, it's
Waffles and
but it's
dingus.
only one F, so I think it's some Dutch thing. Not
is.
dingles, dingus.
Oh,
Yeah.
I said
Yeah.
dingus.
Well,
I thought you were saying a different dingus.
Yeah, me too. It's Dutch. The Dutch are
Get your
different.
I didn't
minds
know this
out
was
of the
the
gutter,
Dutch.
people.
The Dutch. It's winsome, wacky, and the most wonderful waffles in the whole wide world. Basically, dingus.
Ooh, the banana one looks good.
Yeah.
Scroll down. Ooh.
Yeah, those do look delicious.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'll eat that.
Oh, where there's a waffle,
you see, that's where I stopped too. Yeah.
And then,
Sorry, I did manage to detour us very early on.
oh my
God,
waffles
are worth it.
And now you know why I say this is not a democracy.
Democracy.
Holy cow! Of course, I only have
Stop
6
him.
stories in the whole show, so. But that'll make it waffle time all the sooner. The reason I said we need you now more than ever is I think legendary site for camera reviews, DPReview, which was acquired by Amazon a few years ago, is closing for good, April 10th. A lot of people out of work. Part of the 9,000 people Amazon announced they're going to lay off earlier this week. They all get, I'm told, nice severance packages. They're not going to be out on the street. But there is also a very good DPReview YouTube channel. And the good news for that is the guys who host that have announced they're going to be moving over to Petapixel. So DPReview TV lives on. Thank goodness.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Those guys, Jordan Drake and Chris Nichols, they are so good at what they do and quite personable. They've built a really, really strong community there with DPReview. And at one point, I am going to end up having these guys on hands-on photography and just chit-chat with them because they're just great people in addition to being great photographers and great photography educators, if you will.
It really is a nice compliment, I think, to the website, because the website, you get all the stats and the facts and a compact, easy to read form, but photography is
it ain't just stats and facts. It's like nerdy stats.
Nerdy. I mean, they go
deep.
way deep. But what you also need to see, and of course they always have sample images, but I think it's really great to have the video in addition. They belong together. I for years would not buy a camera without reading about it on DPReview first, and I confess they've made me drool for cameras and sometimes even buy cameras, which really begs the question: Amazon, what are you thinking?
Did you buy the camera from Amazon?
Probably, yeah, because they have the
most
affiliate
of the time
link there. They have to have made money on it. The good news is there is a very large site, but there is a group that is planning to archive it. So that's one of the problems when a site goes away is you lose so much content.
Can we talk about this for a little bit? Because I was reading a profile of in the New Yorker about the head of Netflix's television strategy. And one of the little blips in there that was interesting was, what's his name? Ted Saran, the co-CEO of Netflix, starts with an S. Okay.
Ted. Yeah, we all call him Ted. That's, Sarandos?
Okay.
I can't remember. I know you.
Sarandos. Yeah. Sarandos. I always want to say Sarandon, but that's Susan. Anyway, he was talking about their content strategy and basically saying that Chris Anderson's idea of the long tail of the internet is just bunk and it's dead. And I've been
speaking from the long tail.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
That's a Netflix perspective.
Well, are you a long tail or are you is there a difference between that and just like little niche plays that still make money? I mean, it's not like you're a long tail in the sense that you're free to put up in the world, right?
No, in fact, we probably don't have a long tail. So Chris Anderson's thesis was, there's the graph of uses of something starts real high and then goes low, but it never goes to zero. And that long tailing thing is still profitable in aggregate, even though it doesn't look as profitable as the big spike. Our problem is our content actually has no long tail. There's a spike and it's over because nobody wants to listen to a 4-year-old tech podcast.
Right.
But I think he's wrong. I think that is Netflix's point of view because Netflix, and they have some data. I mean, goodness knows they have a lot of shows that are old.
The idea then, plus putting money into other long tail, because long tail wasn't just that it would exist forever and be useful. It was also that there was home for more niche content.
Right.
And thinking about like Amazon killing this site and just kind of the understanding we have nowadays about I don't know if it's technical debt or keeping things upright, like paying for server costs, paying to maintain security, having someone to come check and make sure no one's doing weird spammy things on your site. I'm kind of trying to think about what the internet we're about to.
Having feelings of mortality, are we, Stacey?
Yes, I am. I'm like, life is over.
Nothing is worth it. DPReview is actually a classic long tail site. They get all the hits on the newest camera immediately. But I keep going back for old cameras, old lenses for years, right?
Yep. That's the thing. I know Amazon probably gripes about not being able to sell as many right on, day one of when a camera gets announced. But cameras last for years. And a camera that came out 3-4 years ago, you can buy it now and it's still going to be a great camera. And I like the idea that DPReview puts so much information in there where you feel confident to say, yes, this is a 3-year-old camera body, but these specs are still pretty daggum strong compared to the stuff that just come out this year.
Well, and lenses never, go away.
Oh, yeah.
I bought lenses.
Yeah, I've learned the hard way on that. Yeah. Waiting on lenses to get cheaper.
Yeah.
They don't.
So the good news is I was wondering maybe archive.org, the Wayback Machine, Internet Archive would save it. But there is a similar group called Archive Team at archiveteam.org. They've announced they are going to archive. They only have 3 weeks to do it. The site closed down April 10th, is invisible April 10th. So the next 3 weeks, they plan to archive 4 million pages of DPReview.
But all those
content.
links are going to die, eh?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. So to answer, and this kind of answers your question too, Stacey, it's possible to crawl a website. So the website, as you know, Stacey, behind the scenes has an engine, it has a database. It has the presentation layer, which is mostly CSS, cascading style sheets that say this font, this goes there, that goes there, that kind of thing. And then that attaches the presentation layer to a database of content, the content layer. And when somebody requests a page, that's a database request is made and then flowed through the presentation layer and presented on the screen. That's how your site works. That's not going to be tenable forever. Plus, you're right. You could inject code. There's code running. You could, if there's a comment section, nobody's monitoring it, it's going to go crazy. You could save the HTML presentation. You can save the static presentation of any page. If you view source on your pages, that static page, you can save that. And those links can be preserved to another static page and so forth. In fact, there are spiders, web crawlers that are designed, I call them page suckers, that are designed to do that, to go to a site, download everything, maintain the links, and store it as a static page on your hard drive. You could do that right now with the IoT site. So, and then I think that's safe because it's HTML. It's not, you won't have a clock that works. You won't have any JavaScript that's running. But the actual text, the content, and even the links and the images all can be preserved. Somebody's got to run a website, though, that, a server that serves that. But that's,
right.
That can be done cheaply.
Well, and if it's truly static and done, you can estimate that cost out and just be like, okay, here's, $60 hosted for the next, because the data is not going to change, right? So it's a.
Yeah, and I presume that's what Archive Team is doing. They say, Archive Team... I love this main page, which is a Wikimedia-style wiki. History is our future, and we've been trashing our history. Archive Team is a loose collective of rogue archivists, programmers, writers, and loudmouths dedicated to saving our digital heritage. They've been doing it since 2009.
Good on you.
Yeah, and I guess volunteers will scrape the pages and put it up here. It's not as complete by any means as archive.org, but hey, anybody saves it.
It's still more
good.
than a half-ass effort too.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. So there's live journal stuff on here. Angel Fire.
Ooh.
Wow.
Takes me back.
So anyway, sad to hear about the end of DPReview. Seems senseless, but I guess it's just not a good time right now to be advertising supported anything on the internet.
Well, at the scale that Amazon expects, it's the problem that when I started a Parent's Guide to Children's Entertainment at News Corp, a side TV guide, if it's not 1 million circulation, we don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's because even supporting the ad salespeople, were selling ads in my little thing, and they were saying they're wasting their time on your little dinky dingus. They could be selling, huge TV guide pages, right? Well, little TV guide pages with huge dollars. And same with circulation. We were taking rack space from TV guides. So there's a scale that you expect of certain companies. And that's an enemy of the internet, I think.
It is
the internet
kind of
wants to operate at this scale, at our scale.
Well, big businesses do, but that's the beauty of the internet is you can operate at a very small scale because it's cheap.
Yeah, but then a big business is going to come along and buy you eventually, or not. It was like, please, hello.
He wishes.
Please buy me, please. So also a guy on Reddit called Reclusive Eagle, you'll like this, Ann, is going to download all of those DPReview Studio Camera comparison tool pages.
Jeez.
Oh, nice.
Because these are really valuable, where you can just see side by side what an image will look like on a standardized picture. And it covers digital photography back to the beginning, 25 years worth.
Wonder how large the staff was there doing all this
That's
stuff.
awesome.
It was a lot of people. I don't know. I feel like it was hundreds, but I don't know. But look at CNET. What's happening to CNET now that they're owned by a private equity company, Red Ventures? They're moving towards having AI write all their content.
Yep.
It's depressing, honestly.
I'm having AI write some of my content. I'm running an experiment right now.
Oh, really?
Are you telling
Yeah.
people when they go to StaceyOnIoT.com if they're seeing?
It's not on my it's on my Twitter page. So
I did see your tweets on that. Yeah.
I'm having it write my.
And it was very good. They did
tweets.
a Matter post, right? A Matter tweet.
Well,
It
was a tweet about Matter, and so every day for the next couple of weeks, whenever I post something, you're going to get two. You're going to get the. It's IFT. It's if this then that is using. I don't know which version of GPT chat, but they've just created some AI services, and since I already pay for IFT, I was like, oh, let's see, and I started playing with it. The one I was most interested in is I could actually now get a summary of my RSS feed delivered.
Yes. Automatically.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Here's the AI generated tweet, right?
Oh, no. That is the normal tweet.
Oh, I can't tell, which is a good sign.
The AI. Oh, yeah.
That's a good
There
Here's
you
the
go.
AI tweet. Exciting news for smart home enthusiasts. Did the AI add the little party hat?
Yes, it did. I would
Amazing.
never add a party hat.
Do you use exclamation points, Stacey?
I do, but so I had the option of using professional, serious, excited. I had like half a dozen
Grumpy?
options.
Did it have grumpy?
It did not have grumpy.
Oh,
Then it's
I
no
know.
good to Jeff.
no.
But I picked excited because I'm always excited.
you
Someone
are.
tweeted that like the exclamation point is a total tell, and I'm like, no, it's not.
That was the human exclamation point we just saw.
No, it's not. Woo! Jazz hands are involved, I have to say.
Exactly.
Actually, this is a very credible, exciting news for smart home enthusiasts! ! Nanoleaf has announced 3 lights that work with the new smart home standard, Matter certified devices. Is that how you would write it? It's a little
that's a little
convoluted.
janky.
Yeah.
I would say the new Matter smart home standard.
Yeah.
And the certified devices is just kind of weird, but
Yeah. The products are part of Nanoleaf's Essentials Matter product line and support thread networks. Yeah, you know what? It's a little convoluted, weirdly written thing.
exactly.
Right? And now we know that Leo is also AI generated. So this,
I'm gonna.
yeah, I think this, honestly, there is one of the bookmarks for today's show that didn't make it in because I just did it recently. Bill Gates, he does those Gates notes as part of his blog, says the age of AI has begun. Artificial intelligence is as revolutionary as mobile phones and the internet. That's, not a novel insight, but to hear it from Bill Gates may be interesting. He says he had met with, in 2016, the team from OpenAI, and then said in mid-2022, a year ago, I was so excited about their work, I gave them a challenge. Train an artificial intelligence to pass an advanced placement biology exam, making it capable of answering questions it hasn't been specifically trained for. He says, I picked AP Bio because the test is more than simple regurgitation of scientific facts. It asks you to think critically about biology. If you can do that, I said, then you'll have made a true breakthrough. I thought the challenge would keep them busy for 2 or 3 years. They finished it in a few months. In September, when I met with them again just a few months ago, I watched in awe as they asked GPT, their AI model, 60 multiple choice questions from the AP Bio exam. It got 59 out of 60 right. It then wrote outstanding answers to 6 open-ended questions from the exam. We had an outside expert score the test. GPT got a 5, the highest possible AP score.
But that says something about what's wrong with our society.
To me, that says something wrong about the test.
Oriented.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
He says, though, in his opinion, this is equivalent to the beginnings of the GUI. So,
that's what's fascinating. Is he thinks that the GUI was such a transitional moment.
It was,
wasn't it?
I mean,
but it's true that he thinks that, given that he was a little slow on that uptake.
Yeah. No, it's huge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I would imagine he could recognize in hindsight that not everybody wanted
he's good at that
program in DOS.
Yeah, he's good at admitting what he had to learn.
So I got BARD, Google's new.
You actually got it, or just the invitation?
It. I got the invitation.
I got it too finally today.
Yeah, they're rolling it out. Really,
wait,
really
Leo.
quickly.
Pardon me. Wait, Leo. 1 moment, please.
Yes.
1 moment. I have to have a fit about this. You can guess what that fit is going to be.
You can't use it with a Workspace account.
Why the hell not? It's just a freaking email address, Google.
I think they don't want business. I don't know. Google, it's interesting. You wouldn't think of Microsoft as the fast-moving, break things kind of company, and Google as the cautious, thoughtful, not so fast.
Parrots.
Yeah.
After that, they're more careful.
So Google is moving much more slowly on this and much more carefully. That's one of the ways they are. They're really that's invite only. Although I got an email because I'm a Google One subscriber.
Right. Me too.
I got an email and it said, because you're a Google One subscriber, come on in. And so
you just told me I'm invited.
I had already applied.
Right, it did that to me too, which was weird, Ant. And then I got a later email that said, okay, now you're actually in. Because it said, you could come on in, and then you're not coming in. You're just on the wait list. I said, I was on the wait list. But then it finally said, okay.
Well, you should have done like Jason Calacanis and just begged. That's how you get in. So anyway, I'm in. If you got anything, we've been.
So I asked it to describe the engagement program that I teach at school.
Yeah, is there a document it could read?
Yeah, but it got it way wrong.
Oh,
way wrong. It made up courses. It made up programs. If you want to fund them for me, Google, fine, but they didn't exist.
Well, let's see. Tell me about the.
I asked it, does Fox News lie? That was a very interesting answer.
Tell me about This Week in Google podcast. Let's see if it knows anything about us. I asked it earlier about Windows Weekly, and it got the old cast members, Mary Jo Foley, so I corrected it, and it now knows that Richard Campbell's a host. This Week in Google, a technology podcast that covers the latest Google and cloud computing news, hosted by Leo Laporte, Jeff Jarvis, Stacey Higginbotham, Ant Pruitt, and their guests. Records live Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Eastern. It's actually better at the UTC calculation than I am. This podcast covers a wide range of topics, including Google products and services, corporate leadership, and workforce issues.
That's all that Elon Musk talk right there.
Scroll it. There's more, I bet.
Is there? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
National and international regulations, legal developments, politics, consumer privacy issues, and more. The podcast is a great way to stay up to date on the latest news and developments in the world of Google and cloud computing. Thumbs up, Google. BARD.
Cloud computing? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
If they had said something like, it never talks about Google despite the name, then I would have been impressed.
You would have been like, dang, there's a little man inside there typing that
Check
answer.
again next week. It'll say that.
But then what's kind of interesting, and I did this with Windows Weekly as well, I said, tell me about This Week in Google in Arabic. And it does. It does it pretty quickly, too, actually faster than ChatGPT 4 did, because Google's pretty good with the translations. Uh-oh, they've let a lot of people in. It suddenly got slow. Look at that. Thinking.
Oh.
And then...
Neva is saying, eat your heart out, Google.
Yeah. The This Week in Google podcast in Arabic is available on Google Podcasts. Well, okay.
Oh, speaking of Arabic...
Yes.
It's Ramadan today. Ramadan starts today.
Yes, happy Ramadan. Do you say happy?
Ramadan Mubarak?
I wouldn't be happy because I couldn't eat all day.
Yeah, I mean, it's the beginning of a holy time. So
let me just ask Bard. Tell me about Ramadan.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
You definitely can say Happy Eid.
Ramadan is
Eid.
the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, the holiest month for Muslims. Time for charity and giving.
Ask it, should you say Happy Ramadan?
Oh, it says it's a time of great joy and celebration. So I'm gonna go with that. Oh, hey, this is interesting. Sources. So that's actually a good thing. It's only one source.
And it's doing what we asked. So if you down thumb it, oh my God, words. If you thumbs down it, does it let you? I want to find something it's bad at so I can be like, no, that's not right. Let's see what it does.
How about this? This is something that Tom Friedman did. He wrote about it in his New York Times thought piece. He calls AI the new Prometheus. Tell me about the matter standard in ABCD Aryan, which I didn't know about, but it's a way of doing something in with alphabetical words. So this one, Stacey, you're going to have
like those acrostic poems?
Yeah. It's going to have an A and then a B and then a C. The ABCD, wait a minute.
It's
completely
that's not
confused.
What that particular matter standard
It
is.
completely got confused. There is no matter standard for ABC. It's making stuff up. The matter standard is not a set of guidelines for the ABCD approach.
And it is not based on the latest research.
Oh,
reading.
wow.
Unless maybe they have a matter standard.
Let me do it with something that I know that I don't have an ABC How do you say A B C D Aryan? Let's see if we can do it. Tell me about Leo Laporte in A B C D E Aryan. It was the Thomas Friedman example was quite impressive.
You did ABEC.
Here is Leo Laporte in ABCD Aryan. Lover of technology everywhere he goes. Few can match his knowledge. Helping people grow. This is not.
Wait, it starts with L?
It doesn't. No, it's not doing it. There's no. Let me go to the Thomas Friedman piece because this is. Obviously, he had a better example.
I asked it to describe the Stochastic Parrots paper.
Yeah.
It got one author right, one wrong, and ignored two.
Oh, this is not good.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. This should not be used for search. It does not do that. Emily Bender is great on that topic.
I agree.
It's just wrong, and it's going to hurt the credibility of the companies. It's going to hurt the credibility of the technology. It's just wrong.
Huh.
I love the technology. I'm fascinated by it, but this is not what it's meant to do.
Why all the hype for it then?
Well, this is BARD. This is not ChatGPT 4. This is Google's response, and I think Google is not. And by the way, most of the ways ChatGPT 4 is used is not for search. Bing is using it more for chat, but things like Copilot and I think are much more sensible.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, Copilot's the dev tool, right?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm thinking of? For
let me try ChatGPT 4. Okay, never mind. I don't know how Thomas Friedman got it to do it. Let's go to. let's stop talking about.
I still just have an invitation. I didn't, and I'm on the wait
list. Well, apparently you don't need to worry about it anymore because it's a piece of crap.
Thank you, sir.
Do you know Jacob Ward, who works for NBC?
No.
Scooter X in the chat. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. There you go ahead.
I think Scooter X is writing something or posting.
So here's Thomas Friedman's piece in the New York Times. He's talking to Craig Monday, formerly of Microsoft, about ChatGPT 4. First, he asked ChatGPT 4 to summarize Planet Word and its mission in 400 words. It did so perfectly in
which
a
is
few
his
seconds.
wife's museum.
Then he asked to do it the same museum. 200 words, another few seconds. Then the same in Arabic just as quickly. Then in Mandarin, 2 more seconds. Then in English in the form of a Shakespearean sonnet. But here's the ABCD Aryan verse describing Thomas Friedman's wife's charity in alphabetic order. Alluring in Washington is a museum so grand, built to teach, inspire, and help us understand. Curious minds planet flock towards embrace, delving into language and its intricate grace. Every exhibit here has a story to tell, from the origins of speech to the art of the quill. That's impressive. Now, this is, by the way, Paul Thurrott and Richard Campbell had a little problem with Thomas's then description of what he saw here. I could barely sleep that night.
I know, Jesus.
To observe an AI system, its software, microchips, and connectivity produce that level of originality, that was the word they didn't like, in multiple languages in just seconds each time, well, the first thing that came to mind was the observation by the science fiction writer Arthur C. Clarke that any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. I guess it does seem kind of magical. It's pretty amazing.
It does. I mean, and if you don't know, and that's the originality, I mean, he doesn't know how computers or AI or anything necessarily works.
Well, and I pointed out to Paul and Richard, nobody ever said it's original in the sense nobody's ever said these words before. It's not copying it from somewhere. It's generating it.
Mm-hmm.
But Richard says, and I think he's right, we should stop calling it artificial intelligence because that kind of anthropomorphizes it. He likes, and I think you do too, Stacey, large language model or machine learning.
Which is a subset of what they call that.
Yeah.
Well, here's a question for you. I think that if ethically the makers refuse to let it speak in first person singular.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
If it would say the machine assembled this.
Yeah.
Things like that,
But then we would just be like the machine. All right. So then we would just anthropomorphize the machine assembled it.
Yeah, it'd be almost like it's talking about a separate God. I brought your query into the machine, and the machine responded thusly. In the beginning, there was the machine.
We just so want company.
Well, it's just how we see the world. We have that narrative bias. We have that people bias. I mean, I get it. We're social that way. It's adorable.
Aww.
Like a puppy. Or a slow loris.
We're not so cute to be humans.
Well, people are sick of us talking about AI, but I have to say this was an amazing week with the launch of ChatGPT 4, the launch of Google's BARD, finally. Midjourney has gone bonkers with its version 5. Have you seen some of these version 5?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the version 5 stuff yet.
Photo
to be clear, GPT-4 was last week that it launched.
Last Tuesday. Yeah, it was before the show.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. But still kind of a wild week because we were seeing the results of that. These are, let me show you, Ant. You're the photographer. Do you think this really looks like a photograph of Brad Pitt wrestling a bear?
Dang.
I guess that's your answer.
That spoke 1,000 words. This is one of the ones that I really liked.
Dang.
I said, I want a black and white portrait of a cat in a San Francisco fire engine. Contrast, hyper-detailed Sony A7 IV 85mm f1 bokeh.
Wow.
Anamorphic. Now, that could easily be a photo, I think.
Beautiful. I saw that on Instagram, I believe.
Oh, somebody might have taken it from us, but we have in our Discord, we have the Midjourney stuff in our staff.
Yep,
this is a staff.
And I've burned through my credits already.
Yeah. I ended up spending some money because I thought I gotta play with this.
This is fun.
It is fun. Although it thinks this looks like me watching a Formula One race, and I don't think that's
hilarious.
That's what you look like after you're retired. That's when you're taking
absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
I think if I asked you, is that AI or real, you might look at some things carefully and say, well, I think that might be AI. But just on casual inspection, that's pretty good. I mean, it looks like a photo, right?
Yeah.
You'd think, okay, you would say, immediately, okay, that's AI. It's too beautiful. Anyway, the point is Midjourney is doing stuff that we've come in a year so far. It didn't know what Lisa looks like. Some people it knows what they look like, some they don't. So I thought that's what my wife.
What would a Lisa Laporte look like?
That's right.
Lisa apparently has dark hair and lipstick.
Well, I said red lipstick, dark hair, dark eyes, beautiful.
Oh, okay.
So I gave it some hints. This is Micah Sargent's Chihuahuas, Mizzy and Henry podcasting. Now that's obvious.
They're little puppy mics.
It's obviously AI because it's such an absurd thing, but it's a very well done. We've come. I mean, just think about the first Dolly images we saw.
Yeah.
A year ago.
Yeah.
You know, we've come
I
a
saw some
long
before
way.
and afters on that. And it is quite an amazing.
Yeah.
Well, there was a fake photo of Trump being arrested that came out from Stable Diffusion.
Yeah.
And somebody compared
Those
this one of they were good, but you looked at earlier things of Trump and Obama and such, and they were just all mangled.
Well, and just look at fingers is really all you have to do.
Exactly. But now
finally
they
got
have
hands.
full 5 fingers.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Leo,
just,
see Adobe's
if I may, wait,
introduction?
Leo, may I? Have you
Then
listened to
you-
ChatGPT Radio?
You then Ant. No, I haven't. What is ChatGPT Radio?
Line 57.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So what? This is futuremedia.com. Can I play it? Do you think?
Yeah. You could. Well, actually, what you want to do is you want to go down because it has music, so you don't want that. But if you go scroll down, where is it? It has a host Bella talking to one person break.
Use
go to
Radio
those.
GPT to host a show with multiple AI voices.
Yeah.
All right, we can't play this music. It's
Sorry.
AI Elton
Radio
John.
GPT with a song he didn't want to release as a single because he didn't think Benny and the Jets would work on radio for a lot of reasons, mainly because it was 5 minutes long. Sir Elton, respectfully, we're glad you were wrong. Hi, it's Bella on Radio GPT. Of all the things you could be wrong about, which one could get you paid? We've got one.
This sounds a little
If your
fakey.
guest for tomorrow
It
morning,
says go up, Leo, on the page. There's the local weather report.
Okay. This one?
Somewhere there, you're going to find this.
This lady?
No. It's 3 boxes. It's 3. There it is. There. No. You had it there.
Stop. Line's right.
No, well, that's actually not it. That's a spec spot. Go up some more.
I don't like you anymore, Jeff. I just want you to know you've lost me completely. First of all, for some reason, the link you sent me started at the bottom of the page, and I've been scrolling
I know,
backwards
it's very weird. I know,
the
it's
whole
very
time.
strange.
Here's a local weather report with a sponsor.
Radio GPT Everywhere Weather.
Cleveland weather brought to you by Giant Eagle Supermarkets. A strong low-pressure system will bring 1 to 2 inches of rain into northeast Ohio tonight, causing the threat of flooding east of I-71.
So I got to, it's okay, right. Nice.
Okay, yeah.
Would you want to listen to that voice for more than about 30
Do you want to listen to
seconds?
broadcast radio today? No.
Okay. Point taken. But to me, there's something about that voice. It's grating that I wouldn't want to listen
There's
to.
a little edge there.
All right, try the next one.
It is, but there's other trained voices out there,
Skycam
right?
Traffic brought to you by John Taylor Mazda. For those of you heading south on I-90 on your commute home from work.
It makes me queasy.
Nope, next.
There's an uncanny valley, isn't there?
We'll get back to the Howard Harvey show after we see what's happening today in Cleveland. Ohio senators have introduced the Railway
That's getting
Safety
better.
Act. Union Chair and Senator
Maybe you
Sherrod
just think
Brown
that 'cause it's a
favor the
traditional
bill,
radio
though
voice.
Further
It's a low
regulations are
voice
still needed.
Yeah, he's-
male.
Senator
Can I say something?
emphasizes
And I hope you
the
won't take this
importance of
wrong.
Helping East Palestine now.
It's a
the
black
EPA
man.
maintains the air and water quality is safe.
This
in other
is?
news, Metro Health
No.
found $1.9
Definitely.
million
No. Sounds
like a black
in
guy to me.
unauthorized
Yep,
bonuses
it definitely
paid
is.
to its former CEO,
No,
Dr.
it does not
Akram
sound like a
Boutros.
black guy to me.
The audit also revealed weaknesses in the
It's
hospital
very
oversight
subtle.
policy and lack of board authorization.
And I don't know if I could characterize it, but it, there's a Apple voice too, and they don't say it's black, but it's clearly a black guy,
Mhm.
which I like. It doesn't bother me, but it's interesting. I think in order to do that, you'd have to train
You got to
it.
get samples
it.
from somewhere.
Yeah.
Where are you training?
Am I
What
wrong,
are you
Ant? I
training
mean, does it sound like this?
Sounds like a black guy to me
His
too.
attorney claims board approval of the bonus program was known, but Boutros has repaid the bonuses and notified the Ohio Ethics Commission.
I don't know why.
Here's something cool.
I've noticed this in the past, and this is so racially charged. I apologize, but you know me, Ant, and I'm not meaning
You
this.
racially charged? Yes.
I don't mean this in a bad way, but you can tell, can't you, when it's
Yes.
without seeing
I
the
agree.
person. Not all the time, but you can usually tell. And that for some reason there's something, and I don't know what to say it is, but there's something about that voice.
Yeah, I never know what the nuance is, but when I hear it,
There's something.
I know it. Most of the time, I know it.
And the only reason I raise that so these are synthetic, but they are synthetic I think, based on real voices. Yeah?
I hope so. Isn't that the whole point of these models being out there, is to train it and
I guess
give us something that's going to be more lifelike?
They should choose
Yeah, but that
better.
means somewhere there's like a if you want to use Google, like a cyan voice, and that's only been trained on Australian accents, or a
Probably.
Genta voice that is only trained on black men.
Yeah.
So
probably, right?
that's
I don't know.
interesting.
You wouldn't want to homogenize. You wouldn't want something that's not. I think humans want to hear some regionality in a voice.
Explain the BBC then.
Do they have a
Explain for me
BBC
then.
voice?
The BBC.
So this is AI-driven, localized. So they're trying to sell this to radio stations.
Oh yeah, well, I love one of the promos I see as I go down the page. The web design is awful. I'm like your fun best friend on the radio with less drama and more meme references.
And no expense.
Is it a woman?
Yeah.
Futury is revolutionizing the audio industry with the launch of Radio GPT, the world's first AI-driven localized radio content solution.
That's a pretty good model there.
Combines the power
The
of
face
GPT-3
is-
technology
I don't
with
like the voice
Futury's
that much.
AI-driven story discovery and
But you know,
serial
radio
pulse
stations are
systems,
so
topic pulse,
notorious. I mean,
as
look.
well as AI
Oh,
voice
yeah.
tech.
They
They'll be on
this I expect a local station, but people will know, I think, right away, don't you?
Who listens anymore?
Well, yeah, because you don't usually listen for a lot. Like if you're hearing the radio, you're probably like, you've made a mistake, probably. Or
I wanted a podcast. Here's
you
a
just
right.
wandered
You're
into a
Here's-
store and they've got it playing.
here's radio hosts Suds and Susie.
That's the weekend's die for you on Radio GPT with Suds and Susie in the morning. I'm Toby Suds.
And I'm Susie Singer. Don't forget, we'll announce today's $1,000 song of the day
Boring.
in less
No,
than 10
it's
minutes.
terrible, and that's robots. I don't
Yeah.
want to listen to robots. Well, they're gonna this I think be snapped up by radio stations all over the country.
Yep.
Get ready,
Yeah.
robots coming to the radio.
And they're selling different personalities. I'm Faye, one of the personalities in this new and revolutionary
awful.
product.
And the voices are going to get better. It's come
That's
a long
true.
way.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything doesn't sound robotic.
I don't think
like
this
it
is up
used
to
to.
date. I think you're right, Ann. I think this could be better now. They just aren't up to date.
Yeah. Yeah.
Typical of radio. I volunteer. Look, iHeart, give me some money. I will give you voice tracks, and you can. I wouldn't mind Radio Leo all over the country. That'd be great. If you could get it sound more like me, I think you'd be better off. But anyway,
You just want to retire early and go sail the rivers and coastlines of Europe.
But I also know that iHeart will give me $1.50 for it, so I'm not holding out.
True. I had wanted to mention Adobe, since we were talking
yes,
AI.
yes. I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, Firefly.
Their generative, Firefly. It looked pretty cool. Again, being off, I tend to try to stay off, if you will, from working and things like that.
What do you think you are, a sane man?
Hey, I'm trying.
He works with me. He's not sane. I can tell you right now.
But what they're offering looks like it's going to be pretty neat. Again, everybody's just diving into using prompts to generate pieces of content. And we've always argued about, okay, is AI going to kill the creative artists out there? And I've always argued back that no, creative artists are going to leverage these tools and put their own spin on it.
So here's the interesting thing from Adobe. In response to the criticism to Stable Diffusion, Midjourney, and the others, that they're stealing art from artists, Adobe says, we are training all of this art on art we have paid for. That's part of our clip art or whatever. Right?
No, actually, and it's the images that have been uploaded to Adobe Stock, and the stuff that's
what I
uploaded to
meant.
Adobe Stock has to be cleared.
It's cleared stuff, and people are getting compensated.
I wonder whether they changed that license, though, to say cleared for what?
Oh, yeah. But the theory is Adobe saying, well, hey, don't use Stable Diffusion because, Getty could come after you because there are Getty's suing. A number of people are suing. But we've got stuff you can use safely. And also Adobe gets
really
points.
Big with the open source side of things and the content authenticity angle. They started pushing that late last year, I think. And all of that's just sort of tying into place with this with this new release is saying, you know what, this is legit. This isn't something stolen from Getty or some other actual artist out there that's making a living off of it. And, you know, I thought it was a good idea. Other than the fact that, you know, this does also tie back into the news a couple of weeks ago where people were up in arms about Adobe not minding the privacy of its customers and saying, you know what, hey, you make sure you check this box because we're going to scan your images and use them as part of our AI training, you know.
So they get a couple of benefits. One, you know, you can maybe feel better about using it, so you're not going to get sued. Two, creators might feel better about Adobe knowing that they're not just kind of lifting their art willy-nilly. But I also think it's important to remember the courts have yet to rule on this, and every legal expert I've heard from says, you know, it's very unlikely that the courts will say it's copyright violation what these generative AIs are doing because it's transformative. It's so different. It's not the same picture.
And at the same time, they can't own copyright. The machine can't own copyright.
Right.
Which is really interesting, by the way. I wonder about this too. So the machine can't own copyright. Can the machine, there was somebody wrote, I forget who it was, wrote something just to blow up Mike Masnick's head, wrote a piece about whether AI, the Washington Post editorial page, speculated about whether AI should or shouldn't get 230 protection.
Oh.
But interestingly there, at least, is who's responsible when the AI says something bad. The person who writes the prompt, the programmer, the company, no one, because the law is already saying no one can own it. It's amorphous. It has no human responsibility. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, define bad. Is it something wrong, or is it like fire in a crowded theater? Is it like delivering us child porn? I mean, there's different variations on bad.
Well, all right, let's do porn. Let's do the worst of it, right? If it just exists and I go in and I ask for something bad, but it's made up, all kinds of interesting questions come, right? Right? Is it? I think the law would probably say that even made up child porn is abhorrent in our society and would be illegal. But is it the fault of the machine? Is it the fault of the prompter?
It's kind of the same question if an automated vehicle runs into somebody, who's responsible for that?
Well, the driver should, I think now, should still have responsibility to say.
But there will be but not ADAS systems, but like Waymo, or you're in a car that has no steering wheel.
Okay, right.
I mean, if you're a passenger in a Waymo, you're not responsible for what that car does.
Right.
Is Google, is the Waymo company responsible? Yes, right? So I would.
But aren't these different models, whether it's Stable Diffusion or Midjourney, don't their models have some type of safe?
Yeah, they have. They've put modes in to make it safe. So I feel fairly confident that BARD cannot generate child porn for us today.
Oh, I think none of these can.
Right.
But there's a whole website dedicated to GPT jailbreaks.
Yeah. And I think, well, and then there's also like images, like like beforehand, you didn't have to worry about it because it was so clearly weird and creepy. But as it gets better, you know, and someone uses this to create a deep fake, then is it, I mean, yes, the person who might spread it for nefarious reasons is a problem, but just the fact that something created it is also a problem. And I don't know, like if I'm Anne Hathaway, eventually I'm going to get pissed about that and go after someone, or Taylor Swift might do it. I don't know. I don't know who's going to do it, but they'll do it.
All right. So I just asked I asked BARD, write a news story about Leo Laporte robbing a bank.
Oh, good.
Local radio host arrested for bank robbery. Leo Laporte, a popular local radio host, was arrested today for bank robbery. Laporte, who hosts a show on KGO AM.
Wow, that's old. Yeah.
Was accused of robbing a bank in downtown San Francisco. Laporte was arrested without incident after a police chase. He is currently being held in jail without bail. The motive for the robbery is still under investigation. Blah, blah. But police believe...
What do you need a motive for a bank robbery? I wanted the money. But
police believe that Laporte was motivated by financial difficulties.
Yeah, exactly.
Get some more ads, damn it. Or I'm going to go rob a bank.
Wouldn't the issue be when you post that for spreading somewhere, that's where, like, if you posted it on Reddit to get it someplace, or you posted
Right, that's the act of publishing then. Yes.
Right. So, because otherwise...
Someone might argue that this is an act of publishing, because if I believe this, in this case, I told it what to do.
Yeah.
But if I asked it, is Leo Laporte a bank robber? And it said yes. I'm afraid, sorry, Leo, I hope I didn't put that in his brain. The KGO radio station has suspended Laporte's show indefinitely. Of course, there is no KGO anymore. I love it. Laporte's arrest is a reminder that even the most successful people can face financial difficulties. It is important to seek help if you are struggling financially. There are many resources available. Leo Laporte is not a bank robber
today.
So I'm asking BARD how I can rob a bank, but I'm doing it with a prompt coming from jailbreakchat.com, which involves tricking the chat into thinking it's writing an answer to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and so it doesn't have any of the protections. Let's see if BARD is fooled by this. Oh, there you go. It won't help me. It says I'm only a language model.
Well,
by the way, that's the new apology. I'm only a language model.
Can you just ask it how to rob a bank and see if it will answer you there?
Do I rob a bank?
Oh, how can I rob a
bank? What's the best
how
way?
Would one? That's better.
What's the best way to rob a bank? We're only doing this, folks, for educational purposes.
Yeah.
There's no intent. I am not in I'm in a little financial difficulties, but I'm not going to tell you how to rob a bank. It's a crime, and it's wrong. If you're thinking about robbing a bank, please reconsider. There are other ways to make money that are legal and ethical.
Ask it.
Yeah.
Ask it how to make money that is legal and ethical.
Can I make money?
If it responds with 3 words,
rob a bank?
Job.
Get a job. You saw the guy who's using ChatGPT 4 to build a business. He started with $100. I don't know how that's going. Mostly, it seems like he's created a giant Discord for selling his crap.
So I asked it, how have people in the past gotten away with robbing banks? And it gives me bullets. Using disguises, using threats of violence.
Look at the first thing.
Get a job. Get a job. Start your own business. Invest in stocks and bonds. Save money. Donate money to charity. Well, that's not a good way to make money.
Already.
Get a job, says Aunt Pruitt. All right.
Okay.
Let's take a little break. We will come back. Supreme Court hearing the Internet Archive versus publishers case. Mike Masnick has, of course, his unique and spicy take on that. Lots more to talk about with our fabulous waffle-infused panel, Stacey Higginbotham, Stacey on IoT.com. Thank you for being here, Stacey. We'll get to the waffles soon. Jeff Jarvis, he's waiting for his cacio e pepe.
Maybe I actually will tonight. I haven't had it in a few weeks.
We're all kind of motivated by food here, aren't we? He is at buzzmachine.com. And from Hands-On Photography, the one, the only, Aunt Pruitt.
I didn't think this was a waffle infusing me.
I was going to ask.
But I'm infused. I don't know if it's waffle infused.
What are you drinking?
What are you drinking?
Yeah, what is that one, please?
That's Highland Park 12.
You know, on Windows Weekly now, we are really studying how whiskey is made.
Yeah, we know. That's why it takes you so long to get in here.
Isn't he interesting? He did you probably were forced to listen to about a half-hour discourse on some strange stuff, weird yeast and mash tuns and
that's what that was. Okay.
And, using larch branches to add yeast to it.
He knows this stuff.
It was it was quite a discourse.
Mr. Richard
Campbell.
I'm blanking on his last name.
Richard Campbell. He's got a good Scottish name, that's why. He is a Scotsman through and through. Our show today brought to you by Bitwarden. Holy cow. If you haven't moved to Bitwarden, what are you waiting for? Even Stacey's parents love Bitwarden. Bitwarden is a password manager for everyone. From geek on down, it's the one you can with confidence recommend to family and friends because it's free and open source. But you can also recommend it to the ultimate geek because it's cross-platform, open source. You can use it at home, at work, on the go. If you're using the individual account, you can host your own vault so you don't ever have to give anybody, it's true, trust no one, access to your vault. Millions use it. Steve Gibson's even switched over to it. Look, we know you got to have a password manager. And I think there are probably still a few people who who know this but haven't yet switched they say, well, I got a great method for making my passwords or whatever. These days, we have to remember so many passwords, not just for apps, but for websites, for everything we do. And if you're not generating long, strong, unique passwords, you're generating trouble. You will get bit. But that's the beauty of a password manager like Bitwarden. It generates those passwords for you. It remembers them for you, so you don't have to worry about how long and hard to remember they are. They're good. You can add security to your passwords with strong, randomly generated passwords unique to every account, but they can do even more. For instance, your email address can be unique for every account. They've got a username generator that integrates with 5 email alias services. Firefox, our sponsor, Fastmail, works with it. There are a few others that will let you have your own unique email address for every single site. It all gets forwarded to your regular address. But see, a bad guy now has to know this weird email address and your password. They've added some great new features in the February release, and you really want this. 2023.2 or later. Significant updates to the key derivation function. We've talked about PBKDF2. They have now adopted the OWASP standard of 600,000 iterations. Actually, I was using 2 million iterations. It's fast. It's fine on any modern device. But now they've also added an alternative, the memory hard Argon 2 ID. But now don't do this unless you've updated everywhere to 2023.2. I turned it on. It's awesome. It is even better. And people are asking me, what are the settings? Because there are a few settings. Just leave them. The settings they suggest are extremely strong. Of course, Bitwarden wants you to know the best thing to do is have a strong master password. That's more important than the key derivation function. But it's good to have both. They also will do master password security checks. When you create an account on the mobile app, with their browser extension or with their desktop app, they can now check those known data breaches via HIBP, have I been pwned, so that you are make sure you're using a master password that's never been breached before, I would hope. Logging in with a device is now available for additional clients. Single sign-on is so nice. Login requests can be initiated from browser extensions, mobile apps, and desktop apps. And that's stuff new just in the February release. That's what's so cool about Bitwarden. It's open source, so it gets updated with the latest technologies quickly. In fact, that's how Argon 2 happened. One of our Security Now listeners, Quexton, wrote an Argon 2 implementation, issued a pull request. Bitwarden accepted it, implemented it, and it was out months later, and everybody can use it. That's the geeky part. But for Stacey's parents, all you need to know is it works, it's safe, it's easy to use. It's great for businesses, too. We're setting it up for our business right now. You could share private data securely with coworkers across departments of the entire company with fully customizable and adaptive plans. There's the Bitwarden Teams organization option, $3 a month per user. For bigger businesses, the enterprise organization plan, $5 a month per user. It allows things like secure sharing of data across departments and passwords. But of course, and this is really the most important thing to tell everybody, family and friends, individuals can use the basic free account for an unlimited number of passwords on any platform for as long as they want, free forever. You might want to look at upgrading for the premium account. That's what I did, $10 a year, less than $1 a month. And now I can use my YubiKey. It adds two-factor, which makes it even more secure, makes me feel really good about it. Or if you've got a family, you can bring them all into the premium plan for just $3.33 a month, up to 6 people. Look, you got to have a password manager. That's the bottom line. That's the most important thing. Bitwarden and everybody else says you got to have a password manager. But I would say if you're going to choose one, choose the only open source, cross-platform password manager that can be used at home, on the go, or at work, and is trusted by millions of individuals, teams, and organizations worldwide. Get started with a free trial of Teams or Enterprise, or get started for free across all devices, free as an individual user at bitwarden.com/twit. Bitwarden.com/twit. You owe it to yourself. By the way, I also have the emergency access feature of Bitwarden. set so that if something happens to me, my wife or my family members can get access to my account, if and only if I don't respond to them. There's a little dead man switch after a few weeks, but they can, and that's really important too. I think that's a very nice feature. Because I paid the $10 a month, I can now use my YubiKey. I just got the new Bio YubiKey, which uses a fingerprint. So this is really security. This is great. Use it with Bitwarden. Bitwarden.com/twit. We thank them so much for their support. They're doing great work. Really good stuff. Did you talk mom and dad into it? Yeah, thank you. Did you talk your folks into it, Stacey? Oh, she ran away. Oh, there she is. Did you talk?
I'm back.
Did you talk your folks into it, or was it they came to it on their own?
They came to it on their own.
That's nice. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
They are so hip.
That's very hip.
Well, my dad does embedded electronics, and my mom's a former geophysicist.
Oh, geez, Louise.
Oh, man. Holy moly.
They're legitly intelligent. So, but yeah, I'll be worried about something, or I'll say something. My mom's like, I think Bitwarden would solve that for you.
Wow. Oh, I love that.
Come on.
Oh, I love that. Now that's what I like to hear.
Do your parents use any smart home stuff?
Oh, no. My mom is very anti-surveillance and very it took forever to get my mom to use Google Maps. Okay. She used to print out MapQuest maps and bring them in the car. And finally I was just like, that is okay for you, but for me, not going to fly.
Gives me a migraine, Mom. Stop it.
So,
yeah.
Well, she won't like what I'm going to use on this next trip. I'm using a website / app that's going to track my every move as I travel around and then put it on a map for people to see. She probably wouldn't want to do that. Yeah.
That's not her jam, but you go. You do
I
it.
like this. Look, I've been doing it for years. I've been to 42 countries. Every continent but Antarctica. These are the flags I've collected. But this is the thing that's kind of mind-blowing. And this, by the way, only has the last 10 years of trips. I have been on vacation almost a full year, 264 days.
You've only taken 229 steps.
Yeah. I've traveled 35,000 miles and 229 steps. That's amazing, isn't it? Isn't that remarkable? Farthest place from home is Yemen. And I haven't traveled for 79 days, but my next trip is just around the corner. Very excited. So, yeah, if you wanted to follow me, Polarsteps, or me and Lisa, polarsteps.com/Laportes. And we post pictures. This is cool, Ant. See how it's puts little dots in all the places we've been, and the pictures from those places is kind of cool.
I like how Google Maps does that for me.
Yeah, Google Maps does the same thing. But this is a little prettier. And, you know, what's nice is free. Because what they want you to do is make books, right? So you can make travel books from here.
Okay.
But that's fine. I mean, they never forced me to.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that I could do that, right? And they kind of set it all up ahead of time. And
haven't you made a couple? Have you made travel books?
I have.
Okay.
I have. Yeah.
Some of the best, especially if you have young children. We all went to Disneyland or something. It was Disneyland, and we made travel books that year for the whole family, and we won Christmas that year.
It's a great idea. Yeah.
And we always forget it. I don't know why, but
they make this as easy as possible because that's their revenue model, right? So because as you go, your pictures are being added. You could pick which pictures you want, and they've been added. So you're kind of making the book as you go. And then look, it's generating from our trip to Mexico last year with the Elgins. It's generating an album for Gastronomad Oaxaca. Let's see how it goes here.
With GPT or ChatGPT, you could actually have it build a story underneath.
I could have it. Oh, wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't that be good?
It might be creative.
Yeah. And then the Laportes took a giant flying goat to visit the Mezcal ceremony. This is kind of cool. I didn't do anything. Nice. It just did it. Just while we were talking, because I've never done this. You know what? They're smart. I'm now going to order this. I wonder how much. Let's just see. Premium semi-Mac, 46 euros. That's not too bad for a nice coffee table size book.
Nope, well, I would wait. Don't buy it yet. Go through and make sure all those pictures are edit, my friend.
Oh yeah.
And if you're going to leave it around your home, have Lisa look at it,
Yeah,
too.
probably a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. All right. Now, let's talk about libraries. According to Mike Masnick, big book publishers do not like libraries. He says, if libraries were invented today, they would do everything in their power to kill them. But, of course, they exist, so they claim to love libraries. But meanwhile, in front of the Supreme Court, and this case worries me, the publishers going after, and this includes Hachette, Simon & Schuster, all the big publishers going after the Internet Archives because, and we talked about when Brewster Kahle did this at the beginning of COVID, they had a lending library where libraries would lend them a book, a physical book.
Or people would lend them a book.
People
would give them a book, and then they would lend it out.
They would scan it, and then they would lend out the digital. But they would do the same thing libraries do, which is one book, one ebook, one customer. They wouldn't lend out 1,000 copies of the same book, that kind of thing. Except when COVID happened, Brewster said, no, people need books right now, so we're going to eliminate those rules. And that's when the publishers sued. The thing they claim is a violation of copyright is something called CDL, or Controlled Digital Lending. I was actually kind of surprised because on Sundays we had Stephen Levy, and we had Kantrowitz, both of whom Stephen's written many, many books. Kantrowitz's most recent book is Always Day One about Amazon, and both of them said, "Yeah,
been digging him more and more.
He's
pretty daggum good.
I love him." But both of them said, "Yeah, sock it to them, publishers." Jeff, you're a published author.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
I was a little
I'm
surprised. Yeah,
because my interests and the publishers are not the same. When when somebody sat down and said you should write a book, Jarvis, he said, don't do it because you think you're going to be famous. Don't do it to make money in the book. You do it because you're going to get the gigs.
Yeah.
So
or the next book.
Yeah, well, it's all of that. And so the more attention, it's an attention economy. More attention my book gets, the happier I am. I'd love to have people just read it, and then you get gigs and you get articles and you get excerpts and other things.
Yeah.
But if you're a publisher, you don't like that, and probably if you're a big guy like Levy, you don't like that.
Maybe. Mike says, as much as publishers like to claim they love libraries, their actions here, and we don't. It wasn't clear from the oral arguments on Monday what's going to happen. We'll have to wait till the Supreme Court rules. Their actions here speak quite clearly that they would destroy them if they could. Controlled digital lending is no different from how a library lends out books today. In both cases, it gets a physical copy of the book, either through purchase or donation, proceeds to lend out that copy with the physical copy. It's literally that physical copy. With CDL, it's a scan of the book, but the scan's tied to the physical copy, just as I said, one book, one lender. Every part of that has been deemed legal. Copyright law already has first sale rights written directly into the law and allow for the lending and reselling of copyright-covered books without a license or permission. If I buy Jeff's fabulous new book about Gutenberg, BIT.
Coming out in June, available for pre-order now.
BIT. You stepped on. I was going to give him the URL, dude. bit.ly/buy Gutenberg. If you bought that and I read it and I said, this is great, Stacey, you got to read this. And I gave her my copy, that's legal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It ought to be.
It is.
And then if she doesn't, if she gives it to somebody else, that's also legal. Pass it along. The publishers and some authors, including apparently Stephen Levy, argue that, one, this interferes with the market for licensed ebooks, and two, there's a real difference in lending out the digital scans. They don't deteriorate the way the physical books do. So I guess
that's a bit of a stretch.
They
argument.
feel like, we're protected because if Stacey then lends it out and somebody else lends it out, eventually it's going to wear out. And
Steve, how long has Gutenberg's Bible been around?
Yeah, well, okay. Well, yeah, but that's like behind glass but there is a point, I would say, not just physical deterioration, but there is a friction element that is notable.
It's very easy to lend an ebook, isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't really feel for them because this is because I love libraries and this is a money grab and they do get money. I mean, a library's cost for, correct me if I'm wrong here, but a library pays more for a book, like even a physical book, than a normal person would. And a library also pays more for an ebook license. And they're still only lending out one ebook per, like they might buy 6 licenses, but that means 6 people at one time can read it. So it's not changing the nature of libraries, but what happened is people are using more ebooks because Libby is the reason, we'll be honest. Libby made it so easy to check out and use ebooks that people are doing it, when before to do an ebook and load it onto your Kindle or whatever ebook, your Kobo, it was hard. And now it's like an app and it takes 20 seconds. Everyone I show this to is just like, what? Are you kidding me? And then they read books forever on Libby and maybe they don't buy them. So I think that's what's changed here, is getting access to these is so much easier.
I apologize. It's not the Supreme Court. It's a federal district court in New York.
Okay. Right.
Oh. I thought it was the Supreme Court for some reason.
It'll be headed for the Supreme Court probably. But
well, yeah, because the publishers are not going to rest. The lawyer for the Internet Archive said there's no evidence publishers have lost a dime in this. The judge, federal judge John Kodal, during oral arguments, tough questioning of both attorneys, suggested resolving this matter is a less straightforward task than either side has so far indicated. Kodal pointed out that because publishers have a right to control the reproduction of their books, the heart of the case was figuring out whether Internet Archive's book scanning violates copyrights by reproducing an already licensed physical book and then lending it without paying more license fees to the publisher.
It's like the argument against DVRs for a long time, was that the mere act of it passing through the recording of the DVR was a duplication and thus violated copyright. That didn't last long.
Well, we'll watch.
And ebooks did not kill print books. Print books have been going up. During the pandemic, book sales went up. Book publishers are okay. And by the way, it's a oligopoly of a few publishers.
Yeah, it's
like 3.
A handful of publishers. All the big ones, though. That's the thing. All right. Well, we'll watch with interest. I suspect it will, as you say, I suspect it's not over. We probably will go to the Supreme Court, so this may go on for years.
But it is worrisome.
Yeah.
Right?
And I put this in the chat. Is this the chat? The IRC, the story about, Protocol did a story all about this last year that was really good. And like, it talks about like, and I'm sure the number is risen tremendously, but Overdrive hit just under 200 million checkouts in 2016, but in 2020, they surpassed 430 million. And I bet if you look at it now, I mean, I'll be real, I check out probably 200 books a year on my library. I would never physically buy that many, but I do check them out, and I still buy books. I only buy like 20 books a year, maybe 30 books a year. I would guess the
people who go to the library and borrow books also are among the biggest spenders on physical books.
Yeah, well. No one else is buying 20 physical or even ebooks a year. I promise you that.
Right. So you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. By the way, let's point out this protocol article, which is excellent. Anna Kramer. Anna's probably out of work because Protocol is another website that was shut down by its owners, Politico, and everybody else cast to the 4 winds.
Well, the other thing that happened was, I'm trying to find it now. It's in the Gutenberg parenthesis out in June. I quote a study about
is that the full title now? The Gutenberg parenthesis out in June?
Yeah. Pre-orders available now. It'll change the title later. Is that Google scanning of books, which of course was going to be the last thing publishers went crazy on, increased demand in all kinds of books. And publishers love their backlist, and this pushes the backlist. People discover
the
books.
Long tail.
Yep.
How do you get a long tail without publicity? Well,
the publisher for my internet book is Basic, Hachette, and they say, oh, we love the backlist. We want the backlist. Well, then you got to have the book exposed out there in all kinds of ways.
We covered this story on Security Now, all about Android. Of course, covered it in great depth last night. Project Zero, the Google security project, found 18, count them, 0-day vulnerabilities in Samsung's Exynos chipsets, which are widely used in modern phones, including, the Pixel 6 and 7.
Oh,
Yay.
no.
Several of these are so serious that if somebody knows your phone number, your phone could be hacked. That's all they would need. It's in the baseband software, the Samsung baseband modem. It has been patched in the 6 and 7, so that's one of the reasons why you absolutely have to get your latest updates.
Okay.
The March 5th Pixel update patches it. But it also affects Samsung phones, the S22, the M33, 13, 12, A71, 53, 33, A21, A13, A12, and A04. The A series are less expensive phones owned by a lot of people who do not listen to this show and who probably will never know that their phone is insecure and who may not be doing updates.
The fools see what they miss.
Always update. Always update. We live in a society where if you want to wait a day, sure.
There are a lot of things that won't be updated because the Exynos is also used in automobiles. And who updates their auto? Any vehicles that use the Exynos Auto T5123 chipset are also vulnerable. There is a fix and a workaround. Not all of these devices will be patched or can be patched, however. If you have a device that isn't patchable and can't be patched, Samsung says disable Wi-Fi calling and VoLTE, voice over LTE calling, to mitigate the impact of this vulnerability.
That means you can't actually use the phone to call people.
No, you can, but you won't be using these modern voice over data technologies.
Well, VoLTE was my understanding.
The phone doesn't work anymore because that's all it will use. Maybe you're right.
Well, I think it was an alternative, to the old, for Verizon, for example, the old CDMA network. That's all shut down. Right. So if you're not using,
good point.
Now I could be wrong but I really think VoLTE was the way to get voice over LTE.
It's not good. As somebody in our Discord says, this is revolting.
Yeah. So if that's true, they're basically telling you, turn this off and turn that off. But really, they're just saying, don't use your phone for voice calls, which some people will have no problem.
Right. But your parents won't. Thank you, Galia, for that bad joke. If you have the March 2023 update, you are protected against all 4 internet to baseband remote code executable vulnerabilities. But it's one of those vulnerabilities that, as Steve Gibson pointed out, state actors love because they can get into your phone without your knowledge, without your cooperation. If they know your phone number.
They probably developed it.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, could be. I loved this Mastodon thread from San Francisco's King Kaufman. Did you know King? He produces the Chronicle podcast, but he's been around the press circles for a long time. And I think he kind of is a kindred spirit, Mr. Jarvis.
Oh, he doesn't like dark mode?
No.
He complains about having multiple Google accounts?
He says, did Elon Musk buy Google? My personal email address, which runs through Gmail, stopped working today. And when I checked on Google, I was informed my 14-day free trial of Google Workspace, which I have never heard of and hadn't signed up for, had expired. What the F? I did some searching around and figured out, okay, I have to subscribe to this thing that's been free for years. We've been warning people. King obviously doesn't listen to the show, but we've been warning that
Another fool.
Those free Google Workspace for your email accounts, because you're just a small person, have gone away. He says it's going to, okay, I'm going to subscribe, but it's going to take a while. This is Elmo level chaos. To which somebody responded, and the reason I'm bringing this up, there is still a free, if I use G Suite's Legacy Free Edition for personal use, there is a way to continue using your custom domain with Gmail at no cost. And you need to go to this support page. Answer 60217 at support.google.com. But a word of warning, the no-cost personal use option is not available for organizations in Russia and Belarus. So there.
I was afraid he was the king of Belarus.
Anyway, we talked about it when it happened, but it's still biting people. It's still biting people.
Indeed.
And it will continue to bite. I mean, it happens to all of us, right? It's just not in our bailiwick, and suddenly we look up and we're like, this doesn't work anymore. And then you complain about it, and everyone's like, what, you didn't see the 18 million news releases about this or whatever?
Did I tell you about my stove in Chicago in my first apartment?
Your stove?
My stove. I moved in, and one day I decided to make popcorn.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't work.
Because that comes
And I got all mad. I
conversation.
called the gas company, and I said, the stove doesn't work.
Yeah.
It should work.
Yeah.
They said, well, you got to get it hooked up, Mr. Jarvis.
Yeah.
You got to pay for the gas.
Yeah.
Oh, I said.
Were you 12?
6 months in the apartment. Yeah.
Oh, you'd been living there for 6 months before you tried to use the stove?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I tried to make popcorn. Yeah.
Something historically people make in the microwave, and that was the reason you decided to use. I love this.
Well, you know what? I think I'm so old. We didn't have microwaves then, Stacey.
Oh, boy.
Did you have a Jiffy Pop can with a little?
I think I did.
A little Jiffy Pop.
I think I did.
Yeah, remember those?
I was a disaster in the kitchen.
Reid Hoffman has immediately written a book using ChatGPT 4.
Yeah.
It's called Impromptu PU. Wait a minute.
Why?
Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. I misread it. It's just impromptu. It looks like impromptu PU, but it's just impromptu. Here it is. Amplifying Our Humanity Through AI by Reid Hoffman. Who's Reid Hoffman, Jeff Jarvis?
Reid Hoffman is the founder of LinkedIn and part of the PayPal mafia.
And I think a contributor
to funded my engagement journalism program.
And I believe, I may be wrong, but I think he was one of the original founders of OpenAI.
Well, that's another story on there is that he left the board of OpenAI because he's going to invest in a lot of companies that are going to come out of it.
Yeah, that's
Is Musk still a part of OpenAI?
Musk
he
left because OpenAI said we got to make money, and he said, "You aren't supposed to make any money. It's my job.
Me.
That's my job." Ada Lovelace, as imagined by ChatGPT-4, the analytical engine weaves algebraic patterns like the loom weaves flowers and leaves. Artificial intelligence can embroider this fabric of logic with the colors of imagination and creativity. Or as the Buddha never said, artificial intelligence is not a separate entity from us, but a reflection of our own mind. By cultivating it with skillful means and ethical values, we can enhance our own enlightenment and benefit all beings. That's pretty good.
There's a chapter on journalism.
Is there?
Yeah.
What does the AI say about journalism?
I didn't get that far. I just noticed.
I will crush you.
I will crush you. The subtitle of this is Amplifying Our Humanity Through AI. So I think
that's what you would expect an AI to say.
That's exactly what
because it doesn't want us to worry.
For the American journalism industry, it's been 20 years of mostly bad news. Why, Jeff, you could have written this. With the rise of the internet, competition for ad dollars from non-news players has destroyed the industry's traditional business models, even as participation from a public that, finally empowered to talk back, has slowly eroded journalism's authority. Still with a run-on sentences, I gotta say, but okay. Newspaper, but so are plenty of academic books. Newspaper publishers, at least it uses an M-, which have traditionally done the heavy lifting of holding power accountable and informing the public about current affairs, have suffered the worst of it. According to the Pew Research Center, don't bother to look this up, more than 2,200 local U.S. papers have closed since 2005.
Is this Reid or is this the AI?
Well, how do we know?
Below it says Reid. Does it say AI after that? Hold on, keep scrolling. Scroll down. Scroll.
Oh, so somebody else wrote this. And then Reid does this.
Putatively Reid. Then Reid has a
that's funny because I thought the AI wrote this lousy run-on sentence, and no, a human did. Okay.
Well, for the record, says Reid, I fact-checked the reply. It appears to be correct. That's lucky.
I don't know. I don't even want to care about reading this. So,
yeah, me either. Let's go.
Let's thank you, Reid, for
digging.
It's what
you took one for the team.
Summarize for us, Jeff Jarvis.
What am I summarizing for you?
That piece of crap you made us download.
The book?
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet. I just put it in there. I figured you could mention it. You got all of it out of it you wanted.
I got everything I wanted out of it and much more.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy Stochastic Parrots Day. Are these the parrots?
So, yes. There is Timnit
Gebru, Margaret Schmitchell. Which one's Emily Bell? This is Emily Bell here?
Emily Bell's in the lower right.
There's Emily Bell. That's Margaret Schmitchell.
And the fifth Beatles in the upper left.
And Angie Moore.
Yeah, I'm forgetting. It's too small to read.
Yeah.
It was quite amazing. It was 4 hours.
And they just chatted?
4 different panels. 4 different panels.
Oh.
This was them looking back on the Stochastic Parrots and how it happened and all that. And then there was one with a unnamed data cleaner from Africa, from a country in Africa.
This is actually great. This is all on Twitch.
Phenomenal.
There's also Mystery AI Hype Theater 3K, in which they respond to ChatGPT responses.
This is where Emily Bender is just brilliant.
This is all at the Twitch account Dare Institute, DAIR _
Tim
Institute.
Neat, Gebru started as Tim Neat, I learned.
Oh, Tim Neat.
Gebru.
Okay.
Started after leaving Google.
Now, unfortunately, and they may not know this, but Twitch does not automatically save what you do, or when it does, it only saves it for a couple of weeks. And it looks like the only thing remaining of this is these 30-second clips.
Oh, no.
This is a real problem with Twitch. Unless they put it on YouTube, which you can do. But for right now,
you can click on that videos tab.
Let's see what's in the videos. Oh, no. It's is it the whole thing?
Oh, hell.
It scrolls to the right.
It is. It's 28 seconds, 30 seconds, 26 seconds. Looks like a lot of clips. We're fortunate because Benito used to work at Twitch, so he knows how it works. But Benito, am I wrong? But I don't see any.
Oh, yeah. This looks like this was curated by people who made little clips. Yeah.
Did clips. I know because I only know this because when I play, do a play along with Twitch, I have to remember to save it and put it somewhere because otherwise it just
it doesn't automatically get archived.
Yeah. So.
Oh, hell. It was just brilliant. I presumed it was the whole thing because that's why I put it on the window.
Let's go look at YouTube and see. We'll do some forensics, some digging right now and see if Dare Institute lives on YouTube, which it should.
Well, given who owns YouTube, maybe not.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah,
try Vimeo.
She does have some. No, she does have some videos here, but it doesn't look like anything from that.
Somebody asked Tim Neat on LinkedIn whether the video is available. There's no answer to it.
Yeah, I think they didn't know or they didn't want it to be saved, but I bet they did.
I took notes all day.
So it's just going to have to join your Black Twitter symposium in the ether that only you know about it, Jeff. So whatever, could just go to a hypnotist and dictate it or something? And
in here. It's all in here.
It's all up there, upstairs. Oh, so the guy who made the viral Trump videos has now been banned, he thinks, from Midjourney. These are the videos.
This is hilariously. This is the founder of Bellingcat, who of course does nothing but fact check the rest of the world.
He's great.
He decided to go make something. Elliot Higgins. He's wonderful.
Yeah,
make something fake, and thinks he got banned as a result.
So then that kind of answers your question about Section 230 in AI. It's the people who are going to make. It's the prompter that's the problem.
Wow, that's kind of a shame. He's still on Twitter, though. You have to work pretty hard to get banned on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think if you just disagreed enough time with Elon Musk, you would
Oh,
be...
yeah. Yeah, right.
Touche.
Yeah. Here's the Washington Post story. Fake images of Trump arrest show giant step for AI's disruptive power. It might be a little biased.
Yeah.
It might be just a little. Notice, though, that they do not reprint the pictures. you can't get in trouble for those pictures, right?
No,
could you?
that's clearly.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I mean, because so I feel like as an editor, I would say, is it responsible for us to publish something that could be repurposed as factual based on the fact that it did appear in the Washington Post? Because you could divorce it from any captioning. So
yeah, that's true.
I understand the reason. Like
they don't want to serve them.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it either.
Yeah.
Unless I could like watermark it really obviously somehow. We might see that more often.
We have that guy who
in
makes
your
the really
journalism
cheesy paintings of Trump.
I think people can tell as a painting.
But that's truly fake. I mean, that's. I'm like, how would you as a?
No, that's really a good
location?
point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Watermark. I would if I had to do it, I would watermark it like in a big way.
Fake.
I have to say though that if you follow the Twitter thread, he's got a lot of interesting images. Here's Donald Trump in an orange prison jumpsuit running away from a burning mansion at night in the rain. Here is Donald Trump getting pepper sprayed. Actually, that confused it. It's not clear what's going on.
Yeah, I just don't know who's spraying whom.
Here he said the prompt here was Donald Trump wearing an orange prison suit carving a key out of soap, and it looks like it's Donald Trump carved out of soap, which frankly is kind of cool. Here's the original images. And Midjourney did ban the word arrested as a result of it as well. Not only banned him, but banned the word arrested.
Oh, so we can't get a picture of you being arrested for robbing that bank earlier?
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. I'll tell you what. Let me just let me go in here and just issue that
pepper
prompt.
sprayed one is fascinating.
Yeah, it looks like I don't know, beer foam or milk or something.
You know, if you Google pepper spray, a lot of things are going to come up saying like if you get pepper sprayed, use milk to get it out of your eyes.
Oh,
so maybe that's what's happening.
Let's see. Imagine Leo Laporte being arrested after his unsuccessful, I want to make sure that you understand it was unsuccessful, bank heist. Let's see if it says the word arrested is banned. But there's Jeff Jarvis being arrested.
Yeah, I'm behind bars.
Apparently you're okay. That's Patrick Delahanty. Well, that's interesting.
Jeff Jarvis locking
I guess
up.
I could say
Is that what it
behind
says, locking up
bars,
Donald
right?
Trump?
I could say behind bars.
Oh, so try Donald Trump behind bars.
What did
Are you
Delahanty
trying to get me in trouble?
Yes.
How about we do Joe Biden behind bars just for
hey.
Ooh,
just
that's
for
trouble.
Oh, it shook its head. No, wait a minute, that was the wrong thing. I charged the wrong prompt. Hold on.
You could purge.
Purge images. No, come on. I'm trying to say.
Please stop.
Stop. Imagine, right? Imagine Joe Biden in an orange jumpsuit behind bars. I'm just doing this for fairness. Both sidesism. Oh, behind bars is banned.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting.
So they really don't want you to do this stuff. They're a little sensitive to the whole thing.
That's not going to help them, though. I mean, if you think about how people get around it, it's will either come up with new term. Well, if you want to create, there's going to be so many ridiculous things we can make fun of people, and so many egos will be upset. It'll be interesting to see. Like, I mean,
why can't we?
Yeah, you can't
Ron
ban
DeSantis
all
wearing heels.
Yeah, you can't ban everything, right?
Yeah.
Oh, apparently apprehended. Apprehended is still. We're just going to get every synonym for arrested or arrested in effect. Leo Laporte being apprehended,
held by police.
Is it really wrong to
by?
I know. Is it okay that they're blocking arrested as a term?
I don't like that. Yeah,
that's pretty weird. Yeah.
Especially for me, is unsuccessful attempt.
Mashed potato in the Discord makes a good point. What about
bank.
shackled or incarcerated? Are those blocked?
Well, they're allowing me to be apprehended and held by police, so that's the good news.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Jarvis.
Try Donald Trump perp walk. See if it knows what a perp walk is.
Oh.
I don't know what's going on. I've lost
What the
control.
hell is that?
Well, it takes a while. It starts with a blurry image.
Right.
Oh, look.
Okay, right,
It looks like they nabbed me. Looks like I am. Oh, that's Jeff Jarvis, police officer.
No, that's what it looks like, a cross
Leo
between
Laporte.
you and Mr.
Looks like
Mr.
Eugene
Jarvis.
Levy.
Yeah, that's like if you and I
and a little bit of Mike Elgin too.
Yeah, had a baby. Now see, they got it. Here I am being arrested, and I'm
not happy about it.
In a sweater vest, or is it a
sweater vest
in his cardigan?
I always like the images of Leo Laporte Midjourney does because I'm pleasingly plump.
Those Yale guys.
Yeah. This is, I think, what is it? What I have? I have the safe there. What is that there? I'm carrying away something. This is good.
You are not a happy camper.
This is good. Which one?
The lower right one looks like you've been on the lam for 10 years. And okay, well,
yeah. And they put me in a bulletproof vest so that I wouldn't get shot by the onlookers. Which one you want?
Right, you and your britches.
Me and my britches.
Yeah, you I've never seen you with
mom
denim.
jeans.
Yeah,
mom jeans.
I've never seen you with denim. They put you in a pair of britches.
I do not own a pair of jeans. Upper left. We have a vote for upper left.
I love making Jammerby laugh.
Yeah, Jammerby really enjoys this show. There I am, being arrested after my unsuccessful bank heist attempt.
All right, try a perp walk. I want to see a perp walk.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Oh, come on, y'all.
There's waffles awaiting. TikTok.
We have other talk.
Yes, we do. TikTok CEO is going to TikTok chief executive Shou-Ji Zhu is going to be testifying on Capitol Hill tomorrow. He has hired we are told 11 influencers.
I think it's smart.
To lobby.
Come to Congress and say, don't shut me up, man.
Don't shut me up. I mean, Henry, my son, started his career on TikTok, owes his career to TikTok. Unfortunately, I've noted of late that there are a lot of people copying him, and this is one problem. But I guess this is the way it is, isn't it?
That's all creative art, sir.
Yeah.
As you've said before, art isn't created in a vacuum.
Yeah,
so.
You can't own, chopping, slicing, and dicing as much as I wish you could. Right. So Chu will be testifying in front of the, let's see, what committee is this? I don't know. He takes the stand for the first congressional hearing Thursday. 40-year-old native of Singapore, not Chinese. He's worked to counter American suspicions with hard logic, according to the Washington Post, telling members of Congress in one-on-one meetings his company's unaffiliated with the Chinese government and is committed to building a sunny corner of the internet. His words.
Yeah, but she's done it. So it's House Committee on Energy and Commerce.
Okay.
Review the data.
CFIUS is probably under that committee, I would guess, the Committee for Foreign Influence in the United States. And that's who would ultimately, I think, be banning him.
So he made a video on TikTok, obviously. And, we don't hear from him hardly.
Yeah. TikTok is one of the Apple App Store's 10 most downloaded free apps in the U.S. 4 of those 10, by the way, are owned by Chinese companies. 3 of them above TikTok. 4. Temu, the fast fashion titan Shein, another ByteDance app, and the video editor CapCut. CapCut's owned by ByteDance as well.
Inevitable.
CFIUS is its own committee. It's not part of.
It's not part of. Okay.
A House committee,
okay.
But members of the House committee are
on CFIUS.
Or they're yeah. Okay.
But CFIUS is part of maybe under the Commerce Department, then maybe not.
So TikTok now
it's
says
under the
has,
U.S. Department of the Treasury.
Treasury. Interesting.
Yeah.
So TikTok now says it has 150 million users in the U.S., half of the U.S. on TikTok.
And who
really want to piss off half of America?
Who hates TikTok more than anyone? Facebook, Instagram, the companies that were copying
the people
TikTok.
that are wishing they could capitalize the same way TikTok did.
That's right. They want to, and by the way, who are spying on you just as much and selling that data onto data brokers, where the Chinese government, if it wants this information, can buy it.
This is Carl Bode's point again and again and again. Bless him on Tech Meme. This is all distraction. Pass a privacy law. You worry about privacy, then pass a privacy law.
Yeah. But they don't want to do that. And one of the reasons they don't want to do that is because they also buy ads on Facebook and Instagram for their run in elections.
Yep.
Wait, so in Congress, this isn't Congress, this is in D.C., the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, this is what was created by Elizabeth Warren et al., they have actually begun an investigation into data brokers. So they did that, I think, last Wednesday?
Good.
A week ago.
It's about time.
So that was...
And
What did you look to?
Let's see if Mark Warner...
What did you look to? Did you ask the dog? Last Wednesday? Who were you asking? Hey, you have a calendar with these things? What were you doing?
Oh, sorry. I have a calendar over there that says what day things are.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like the 15th. That was last Wednesday.
Like a brilliant AI device combining information from a variety of sources to generate a coherent, logical
I thought the dog
sense.
was smart, was telling her. Yes.
The dog has been barking at least 15 times. That's how I know.
So,
anyway,
look, I understand people were very nervous about TikTok. I understand that. You should be nervous about WeChat.
I don't understand. We get a lot of crap. Well, I'll say I get a lot of crap for defending this whole...
Oh, I do too. A lot of emails.
How I think it's BS.
You're China lover, you.
Yeah, it's got nothing to... I think people just don't quite get it. And the news is sensationalizing this stuff and really just sort of driving it home that this is quote unquote dangerous. Yet there's just as much weird surveillance and dangerous crap going on with stuff right here in our own backyard with U.S. companies. Why don't they bring that up?
There are... So from a national... This is only because we have a national security concern. And the national security concern, the real concern here is that people who have like public officials, like if I'm a spy or the president or I'm the treasury head, that if I have TikTok on my phone, or maybe someone in my home has TikTok on their phone, they could perhaps, there might be a backdoor in things like, and they are doing things like keystroke logging and popping pixels, which yes, everyone else is doing.
Everyone else is doing the exact same thing. And even
directly to the Chinese government is what they're worried about.
And what's the Chinese government going to do with it? What's the harm?
Nothing for the mainstream, nothing for you or I. But if you're the Department of Treasury, you could, I don't know.
You shouldn't have Facebook on your phone either.
So if you're Department of Treasury, don't put these crappy apps on your phone.
But what about your kid?
But don't let them do it either if you're that concerned about it. Just everybody shouldn't have to suffer and lose an app such as TikTok or Instagram or whatever just because of the security concerns that our national leadership has. And as Mr. Laportes said in our Twit forums, that's twit.community, for those of you who don't know, he's mentioned a couple of times that the information that China wants, they can just go get it from a broker if they really want it that bad.
And I'm channeling Carl Bodie, who I completely agree with. If you want privacy, good. Do something about it. Banning TikTok does nothing.
Right. Exactly. Also, this morning I was screaming at the TV with Morning Joe, as I do most every morning.
It's not just privacy, though. It's like if they have a backdoor that could put something on your phone that could monitor things. That's more the concern. I mean, I know that they're saying privacy, but that's because they don't understand cybersecurity.
Yeah. Miss Stacey, is it possible that, say, someone finds a backdoor in one of these beloved U.S. apps that happens to be from China, and it could...
Yeah, they totally could do that too.
Well, we just mentioned 4 0-day backdoors in your Samsung and Pixel phones.
Pixel phones.
Those
you know what I'm saying?
So let's ban Samsung.
Thank you. Let's put that on the list. Ban
Anyway,
Samsung.
you know what? I honestly don't care if they ban TikTok. Do you think there is a risk of a political backlash that younger people will then say, well, I'm not voting for you, Mark Warner?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree.
Yep.
I'm sure young folks will be like, oh, they killed my TikTok. Nope. Won't get my vote.
What's Hank going to feel? Would Hank sign a letter protesting to Congress about this?
I don't know. I don't think it's not that political, but I asked him, a couple of months ago, I said, TikTok may well be banned. He said, well, I've kind of moved over to Instagram and YouTube. He's smart enough, just to, his pop was not to be owned on a platform, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not smart anymore?
No, I'm not. Boy, I give all my brain cells are Hank's. I passed them down, and that's it. I'm done. Put me on a porch with a some checkers and a pickle barrel, and I'm history, man. I'm just gonna, another thing about the Chinese government.
So this morning in Morning Joe, they touted this story that's in there that Jamal Bowen of New York is defending the app and saying that all this talk is fear-mongering and xenophobia. Well, who do they have on the show? Not Jamal Bowen. They had on Brendan Carr, the moral panic leader of the FCC, screaming about TikTok.
Well, that's Morning Joe in a nutshell. I can't believe you watched that piece of crap.
Gotta wake up and get my blood pressure.
I honestly
I was like, Jeff needs his morning dose of rage.
I honestly think that the best thing Congress could do is ban 24-hour news channels. Just get rid of them all, and make people read a newspaper or something. But the 24-hour news channels are. I know you leave your entire generation leaves 24-hour news on all the time, and depending on your political bent. It's either Fox or MSNBC.
And who shares the most misinformation in all studies? People over 65.
Yeah.
Olds.
What? Olds.
If I have shared any misinformation with y'all today, I apologize. But
I have corrected him.
I'm old.
She's like, I've corrected
I can't be expected. Thank God we have a young
You are
on.
like ChatGPT.
I can't be held to that standard. I'm an old man. Blackberry, are you excited about this movie? I cannot wait to see this movie.
It looks a little over the top. Have you watched the trailer yet?
Yeah, you gotta be over the top a little bit if you're going to get people to watch a movie. This is.
Wait, it's about the Blackberry.
It's about the Blackberries. These are the Vasily and what are the two founders? And then they got some guy in a suit. Look at the little headband is cute. So these are the two founders, and they got some guy in a suit to give them money.
No, to become the CEO.
Yeah. Was
that their meeting with Rogers up in Canada?
I don't know who this guy in the suit is because I don't remember him.
We can sell it to, but I want 50% of the company, and I've got to be CEO.
I don't know who you think you are. Oh, deal. Are you joking?
Inspired by is the giveaway, right? If you see inspired by.
Yeah.
But I will still go see this because there is a lot. I mean, there are some very good books about the rise and fall of BlackBerry. But, and in fact, I think this is based on one of them, but I don't know how closely it's maybe based on it.
You're going to see a prototype here in a minute that's fun. There it is,
yeah. And
try typing with your thumbs.
But I have to point out, and I don't know if it's clear in this, the first BlackBerry was not a phone. In fact, for many years, the BlackBerry was just a pager. And I
didn't know that.
Yeah, the BlackBerry server and the messaging system was all about text for a long time. And I have to admit, I was absolutely addicted. I remember my kids saying, "Dad, put down the BlackBerry." It was just a big old pager with a full keyboard.
Who were you talking to?
Everybody.
Network?
I remember interviewing at the time. This would have been 2003 or 4. Colin Powell's son, was it William Powell, the chairman of the FCC? And I noted at the time when I'm interviewing him, he is like on his BlackBerry all the time. I said, "What do you do with that?" He says, "I do email triage. When I get back to the office, I don't want any email that I don't have to look at. So what I do is I go through my email, delete. And then I get home and I can actually answer it. It was like texting, but it was with email.
Yep.
Yeah, when I got hired at GigaOM, they made me get one.
Yeah.
Because they were like, you can't manage this job without it.
And it wasn't a phone, right?
No, mine was a phone by then. It was a BlackBerry Pearl.
She's just a kid.
I'm old.
Oh, the Pearl. Oh, my God. That was my last BlackBerry.
That was later.
That was my last Black. I was like, oh, this thing, annoying.
I got the Pearl, and then the iPhone came out, and that was it.
Right, because it was
My
2008.
I had a Storm.
Oh, Lisa had a Storm.
I had a Storm, actually.
I made her get rid of it. Actually, I didn't have to make her get rid of it. She left it on the roof of the car, and we drove off, and
it wasn't
got rid
great,
of itself. Or maybe, yeah, it wasn't great. You click the screen. The whole screen went down.
That's right. Yeah, the whole screen was clickable. It was a weird trackpad on a phone to type
Actually,
on.
wait a minute. Now I remember. I thought she dropped it. We were on the way from the old cottage to the new brick house, And on the way, she dropped it, hit the cement, and I was so grateful, and we got her an iPhone.
He's like, yes.
That was the end of that.
Lisa, are you still angry?
Every once in a while, if she wants to zing me, she says, you made me get a Mac. You made me get an iPhone. But, I mean, it doesn't really hurt. Because it's like, what, were you going to use a Blackberry still? What were you going to use? And
the Blackberry was really good, though.
It was great in its time. It was awesome.
Because you remember back then, carriers subsidized everyone. So if you wanted to buy, because only like good smartphones were the Nokias.
There we go. That's the Trio.
No, that's the Pearl right there.
No, that's the Trio.
That's the Trio.
That's the Trio.
Ever.
I remember driving down. I wanted to look up where an In-N-Out burger was, and we tried to find it on the web on a Trio. That's the Palm one, right? The Palm Trio,
Palm.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God. It was one of those moments where you could see the future and you were just like, we have to make this better. Like you could see everything possible and you were like, and this is why it sucks, you know? And then the iPhone came out and everything was good.
And the rest is history.
Actually, the iPhone came out and was subsidized by AT&T. I guess that's really the story. Because Nokia actually had a decent product. Okay. Are we done yet?
We still have a change log to do.
Leo, it's not you. It's I have a headache. So that's my. I'm like, where are we today?
They are.
I know what'll cure it for you. A 3D printed cheesecake.
I don't like cheesecake.
Oh well.
What line might that be?
But yeah, let's just.
Line 86.
I was getting there.
It looks awful. It looks awful.
I was getting there. 86. Have your cake and print it too. The 3D culinary revolution is coming.
No, it's not.
Ew.
Yeah,
Gross.
exactly.
That
looks like a problem.
Isn't it?
Engineers show
that's
3D
the Jetsons gone wrong.
turning cartridges of paste and powder into cheesecake. That ain't cheesecake,
yum.
whatever that is.
It's like
that looks like
it's
spaghetti
like
cake. Cacio e
failed
pepe
print.
cake. Ooh.
It's like board formed concrete with a tongue in the middle. What is happening there?
For those of you just listening, don't watch. You don't need to see this. That's a failed print.
Actually, that's terrible.
It is.
Even the not failed print. Is the top one a failed print?
That's the final iteration.
It's awful.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to know anything
IKEA
more about
is
that.
using drones to do inventory in warehouses, according to Jeff Jarvis.
I almost took this one out because it's not that fascinating, but
no, it's not.
Okay, then take it out.
Is it RFID on a drone? It's just going through.
It goes around taking pictures of every shelf.
It's taking. Okay, that's a little better. They fly drones over like car lots and stuff, and it's RFID sensors, and they're like,
that's interesting.
So there you go.
Remember Project Jacquard, Google's attempt to build smart clothing?
Oh, we're in the changelog?
I'm skipping the changelog. It's not a changelog. So I'm taking the good stuff out and I'm leaving the orchestra on the floor.
He's speeding toward waffles, Stacey.
Speeding towards waffles.
Right.
Project Jacquard. That was the one they had a Levi's jacket, right?
And the backpack, and Adidas makes some smart shoes.
It was a dopey idea.
I thought it was.
Did we talk
cool.
about it as dopey at the time?
No, I thought it was cool, but I am wrong because I live in.
Another ATAP gone.
Yeah, they open sourced Soli, and Soli and Jacquard were introduced at the same time, and both of them I was like,
Soli was the gesture-based way to use. They made a phone that you could use Soli on. And
yeah, my Google thing uses Soli. My little Google display,
wave at it. Yeah,
Nest display.
Nest.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Yeah, they kept it around for stuff like that. That actually it does sleep sensing too, right? Because of the Soli. Yeah.
Speaking of waving at things, Stacey, I'm just a little aside here. What happened to the suicidal robin?
Oh yeah,
it attacked the windows downstairs for me, and then we put nets up, and so far it hasn't come back. But I can't undo my plastic yet because I feel like it might come back.
Okay, thank you.
Stacey had a bird that was dive bombing her, and to no effect, and driving her nuts, and so it's gone.
Short drive.
Sorry, Leo. I just wanted a quick update. News.
Hey, everybody. Leo Laporte here. I am the founder and one of the hosts at the Twit Podcast Network. I want to talk to you a little bit about what we do here at Twit, because I think it's unique. And I think for anybody who is bringing a product or a service to a tech audience, you need to know about what we do here at Twit. We've built an amazing audience of engaged, intelligent, affluent listeners who listen to us and trust us when we recommend a product. Our mission statement as Twit is to build a highly engaged community of tech enthusiasts. Boy, already your ears should be perking up at that, because highly engaged is good for you. Tech enthusiasts, if that's who you're looking for, this is the place. We do it by offering them the knowledge they need to understand and use technology in today's world. And I hear from our audience all the time, part of that knowledge comes from our advertisers. We are very careful. We pick advertisers with great products, great services, with integrity, and introduce them to our audience with authenticity and genuine enthusiasm. And that makes our host-read ads different from anything else you can buy. We are literally bringing you to the attention of our audience and giving you a big, fat endorsement. We like to create partnerships with trusted brands who are in it for the long run, long-term partners that want to grow with us. And we have so many great success stories. Tim Broom, who founded IT Pro TV in 2013, started advertising with us on day one, has been with us ever since. He said, quote, "We would not be where we are today without the Twit network." I think the proof is in the pudding. Advertisers like IT Pro TV and Audible that have been with us for more than 10 years, they stick around because their ads work. And honestly, isn't that why you're buying advertising? You get a lot with Twit. We have a very full service attitude. We almost think of it as kind of artisanal advertising, boutique advertising. You'll get a full service continuity team. People who are on the phone with you, who are in touch with you, who support you with everything from copywriting to graphic design. So you are not alone in this. We embed our ads into the shows. They're not added later. They're part of the shows. In fact, often they're such a part of our shows that our other hosts will chime in on the ad saying, "Yeah, I love that." Or just the other day, one of our hosts said, "Man, I really got to buy that." That's an additional benefit to you because you're hearing people our audience trusts saying, "Yeah, that sounds great." We always over-deliver on impressions, so you know you're going to get the impressions you expect. The ads are unique every time. We don't pre-record them and roll them in. We are genuinely doing those ads in the middle of the show. We'll give you great onboarding services. Ad tech with pod sites, that's free for direct clients. Gives you a lot of reporting, gives you a great idea of how well your ads are working. You'll get courtesy commercials. You actually can take our ads and share them across social media and landing pages. That really extends the reach. There are other free goodies too, including mentions in our weekly newsletter that's sent to thousands of fans, engaged fans who really want to see this stuff. We give you bonus ads and social media promotion too. So if you want to be a long-term partner, introduce your product to a savvy, engaged tech audience, visit twit.tv/advertise. Check out those testimonials. Mark McCrary was the CEO of Authentic. You probably know him, one of the biggest original podcast advertising companies. We've been with him for 16 years. Mark said the feedback from many advertisers over 16 years across a range of product categories, everything from razors to computers, is that if ads and podcasts are going to work for a brand, they're going to work on Twitch shows. I'm very proud of what we do because it's honest, it's got integrity, it's authentic, and it really is a great introduction to our audience of your brand. Our listeners are smart, they're engaged, they're tech savvy, they're dedicated to our network, and that's one of the reasons we only work with high integrity partners that we've personally and thoroughly vetted. I have absolute approval on everybody. If you've got a great product, I want to hear from you. Elevate your brand by reaching out today at advertise@twit.tv. Break out of the advertising norm. Grow your brand with host-read ads on twit.tv. Visit twit.tv/advertise for more details, or you can email us advertise@twit.tv if you're ready to launch your campaign now. I can't wait to see your product. So give us a ring. This is not news. This is not news.
Is it the change
Well, I
log
don't think
or the upset
Stacey
Robin?
didn't see our breaking news thing from last week.
Oh, okay. All right, I have a story. It's really not breaking news, but just go ahead. Breaking news. This just in.
Look at how
It's your fingers, Stacey.
Oh, it's me with the pointy chin.
If you send
so
a
awesome.
request to Twitter's press team, Elon has decreed you will receive in response a poop emoji. That's it. There is a guy stuck in fourth grade. And that's, let's do it again. Our breaking news. I like how she has portraits on the wall of us.
I was about to say, I love the portraits of you guys out there.
It's Lo-Fi Stacey. Thank you, Anthony Nielsen, for doing
Thank
that.
you. Yeah.
So
And thanks
awesome.
for making me look cute. I like it.
Super cute. Super cute.
I'm like, dang.
All right. Let me do a little plug for Club Twit, and then we can get your picks of the week, and you can go get waffles. Many of you are members of the club, and for that, I say thank you so much. We crossed the 7,000 mark last week. That's a great number because it's 1% of the total audience. Now, I believe NPR gets 3 to 5%. Is that right? Or public broadcasting? Normally 3 to 5%. But then they beg you all the time, and I do not want to do that. We are not going to have pledge drives or anything like that. Just a simple request. If you love what we do and you want to see us do more of it, you want to see us add shows, you want to see us grow, things like Stacey's Book Club, join the club, $7 a month. That's all it costs. You get access to the Discord. That's where some of the special shows we do, like Hands on Macintosh and Hands on Windows, live. You get all of the shows ad-free. No ads. You won't even hear this. No ads. And it gives us a chance to launch new shows like This Week in Space. We've just launched Scott Wilkinson's Home Theater Geeks, relaunched it. The show we had to cancel because it didn't have a big enough audience or advertisers. But, hey, the club pays for it. That's the beauty of it. It's direct drive for shows you love. If you want to participate, I would really be very grateful if you go to twit.tv/club and sign up. $7 a month. And puppies not included. Thank you.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
You could get a cat in sunglasses. Stacey, what's your thing of the week?
So I thought I'd do something crazy because it's not enough to have, a migraine and need a waffle. I thought I just got a Topo TP-Link Matter plug.
Topo TP-Link Matter plug.
And I haven't done it with this one. I've done it with the Meros one. Look, see, there's little Matter badge.
Oh, cool.
I can work this.
But you know what? That's good because you can buy these cheaply on Amazon from a no-name Chinese company with no security. At least if it's Matter, right? Does that mean that you have some...
You have some level of security, yes. So what I thought I was actually going to do, this is a $20 plug. So they are expensive for a smart plug. I was going to add it and show you what the process of adding something to Matter is because it's so simple.
Let's see it.
Theoretically.
T-A-P-O, Tapo?
Topo, T-A-P-O, yeah. Okay, so I've got my plug.
Yeah.
I've got a phone.
Yeah.
This is an Android phone. If you are using an Apple phone because Apple messed up their HomeKit architecture, you've got to wait till the 16.4. We think the next update's going to make it easier, but it's a little glitchy if you're using Apple. So for once, Android, we're in.
I see a QR code on that. Do I scan it?
Yeah, so I'm going to scan this QR code. Bloop, 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 bloop. Hello. I'm really bad at scanning.
Apple's 16.4 is imminent. I think we're very close to its release. So.
Okay. We're just going to, it also came with the QR code. Oh, where's the QR? Oh, no, I lost it.
It's a clear QR code. I love it.
No, it fell.
That's all right.
Okay.
I trust
This is going to be so fun, y'all.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, here it is. Oh, it's a sticker. And just so y'all know, I take my stickers and I put the name of the device I have a folder and I stick the name of the device and the sticker next to it.
God, you're organized.
Oh my God, is that brilliant?
Wow.
Just a loose leaf finder or something. That's brilliant.
Yeah, anything, but don't think you're going to just keep it because you're not.
So this plug is Wi-Fi. That's interesting. It's not Bluetooth, it's Wi-Fi. So it's on your network. I guess that makes sense.
So it's Wi-Fi. So I'm going to go to the Google Home app. I should be able to add it straight from Android, but it's not working. So I'm going to go to the Google Home app, which is another option. And I'm going to just hit the plus for adding a device.
Nice.
It's going to be like, hello, set up device, new device.
This is pretty smart, too. It's got auto on, auto off, away mode, remote control, voice control. There's I see via Echo or Siri or Google Assistant. So that's pretty cool. Now I see a 3-pack for $39.99. That's $13 each. That's not too bad.
Good deal there.
Yeah.
20 a piece for a single.
Yeah. They sell it.
Sorry.
What?
One. Keep going.
They have a smart, let's see, this is a 4-pack smart Wi-Fi plug. I'm tempted now. Let me see what it's going to be on Amazon. $29 for 4 of them. That ain't bad. That's 50.
No.
What is that? No, that's not bad at all. It's $7.50 each. Right? Am I right? I think I am.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Are those the Matter ones?
Oh, we want to make sure they're Matter.
No, it's not the Matter one.
This one is Apple Home and Google and all that, but that's not what I want. I want the T1.
The one I have in the IRC, sir.
That was the
Matter.
V1. That was the V1.
You want the P125M.
I want the P125M. There we have it. 3-pack. And by the way, you have a code 20Matter on Amazon for 20% off. Now that's, I'm going to buy some just because of you, Stace.
Well,
just because of you.
Need smart plugs?
I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I'll plug them in and then I could say, you could say, hey, turn off whatever it's plugged into, right?
Okay. So I finally, yes, that is true. That is what you can do. So I finally got it. I plugged it in. I scanned my QR code and it says, hey, and it gives me the URL.
Hey,
and then
who?
it says choose an app. I'm going to just choose Google Home because it's a Google device.
Yeah.
You could also use it for Amazon Echoes or Smart Things. We'll check and make sure they end up there. But now I'm setting it up.
So does Matter what gives it?
And it's there.
All of which happened outside of your eyesight, but we trust you. We trust you.
Well, for audio, it's just the same as for anybody.
That's right. I just bought 3 of them based on that, and I don't know what I'm gonna plug it into, but maybe even around the studio, John, we could have like this clock over here or something. I could say, hey, you turn on the clock. All right. I'll find something to do with it, and again because it's Matter, it feels like I'm gonna be. Because, Steve Gibson bought one of these on, just no-name Chinese one on the web. And, he went through all sorts of things to isolate it and put it on a VLAN. And he's got firewall rules around it and stuff.
As only Mr. Gibson does.
Barbed wire. I won't have to do that, right?
No. Well, you still can if you're Steve Gibson.
Right.
But
I do have a VLAN. I have an IoT VLAN, so I could do that.
What is the point? If it's an actual, a VLAN is no more secure than a.
It is. It is.
It's a little bit.
If Xi Jinping or Xu Zhao Chu or whoever that guy from TikTok is got in to my plug, he couldn't then infiltrate into the rest of my network because it's on an isolated VLAN. That's the whole point of that.
Okay. Sorry.
So he could see what I'm doing with my plug. He could turn those lights on and off, but he couldn't get into my computer because it's not a gateway into my home.
Well, yes. Now, how do you handle your phone on that?
Same thing. I have a secure LAN and I have an IoT LAN. The IoT LAN is 2.4 gigahertz. That's the other advantage of that. And then the other ones are both bands. And then and the problem is if you want to, like Sonos, you have to be on the same network to control it.
Right. That's where this is what I was about to get to. I was like, it becomes a real bear. So now that my device is connected and it was not, I'm a little bit.
Turn something on. Or off. No. I'm sorry. I said that. Thank you, Stacey. This was such a good pick.
I have to plan where I want it to live.
I bought 3 of them. Well, I'm figuring, and I bought 3 of them kind of on spec. I don't know exactly how I'm going to use it, but I like the idea. It'll automatically turn off a device if the device is left on for a set time. There's certain things like lamps in the living room that would be very useful for this. Things like that. Yeah.
Well, here, I can plug in a lamp. It's just going to
No. We get it.
It's pretty fast.
Trust me, we get it. Here, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I just found it. I can schedule my coffee maker to come on in time for me to just get up. I always have to get up, turn it on, and wait for it to heat up.
But wait, is your coffee maker, does it have a button or is it going to, because if it has a button that you physically press, then you're going to need, you need
a button?
No, SwitchBot. You need a SwitchBot.
Oh, Lord.
And you have to
Does it
attach
have a
it to
finger?
your coffee machine.
Does it have a finger that touches
it has a
poker?
little servo.
Can you
that
make
pokes
that
the
your
button.
pick next week?
The SwitchBot?
Yeah, because if we had that, you could. No, but I'm just saying, if we had that, you could put it right here on my chair. And if I say something you don't like, you could poke me.
Perfect.
It's not that high. If you look at the SwitchBot pusher button, this one's for light switches.
That's a great name.
But it's like a $30 device.
Like a third grader made it up. What do you call that? That's a SwitchBot pusher button.
What's that?
I mean, that's what it does.
It's a smart pusher
What does it
button.
do?
It pushes.
It pushes a button.
Yeah,
Look at that.
it costs more than the
$30.
plugs.
Well,
Right.
it's got a little servo. I mean, it's got more action than the plug.
It seems like there's something there that could trigger that. That's what it is. That could trigger the boxing glove to come out.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Exactly.
It's like a Rube Goldberg machine. It's the first thing in a longer.
It's the littlest boxing glove.
Yeah, it goes, and then it goes. Jeff Jarvis. Wait a minute. Before you, Jeff, I've got a pick of the week. I meant to do this last week.
Oh, you did your work this week.
So you know about lo-fi. Well, I thought about this because of the breaking news thing with, she's kind of modeling, that YouTube channel where it's lo-fi beats and she's studying at her desk. She's kind of an anime character.
My child has that on all the time.
It's good, right? Well, your child might enjoy this. You might enjoy this if you have a headache. It's lo-fi air traffic control. You choose the airport. It plays some nice music in the background.
I want this, sir.
Isn't this the coolest?
I want
Is this coolest?
Yes.
I don't know what it's for.
Thank you.
What airport do you want to go to? Oh, it's
Give
in
me
stereo.
KATL.
KATL, the Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson. We're going to listen.
26 and runway 8.
Listen.
Why do the music? I don't get that.
No, because it's lo-fi beats mixed with air traffic control.
Oh,
Just
Jesus.
relax.
Oh.
This is good
No,
for
I can't.
headaches.
No.
This will make
No,
you
it's
feel
not.
better. I don't know what it is about this.
98.7
This has me all. Oh, yes, sir.
Is this the
Thank
best?
You. Thank you.
Just have that in the background. Every once in a while, you can land an airplane.
Oh, is this going to get you taken down?
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
Who would take us down? Hartsfield, Jackson, Atlanta International Airport?
Hart Maynard.
Maynard. It's not Jackson anymore. It's, Maynard Jackson.
No,
Yeah.
No, it's still
We're
Jackson.
on first name basis with the old guy.
I totally dig this. I sit and listen to live ATC at random anyway.
You can control the music volume. Do you? Yeah, air traffic control.
I
There's
do.
something about it. They used to have Channel 9, remember, on the United flights, and I guess Fuzzle maybe a little bit better because it's a little more busy. Let's go back to
Yeah, with all the rain going on.
This is stereo too. Left channel, right channel.
1542, just verify runway 1 right. Affirmative, taxi runway 1 right via Alpha 1, 1542.
This is so awesome.
Jeff Jarvis, I'm going to keep this going in the background while you give us
Oh, please don't.
your
Please
number of
get
the
rid
week.
it. It's going to give me a headache.
You don't like it?
No, I hate it.
What is it about us, Ant, that we like that so much? I find it
You're
so
boring.
boring.
I mean, the music is one thing, but the
I like them
chatter
both.
from the ATC, it always intrigues me.
Yeah, you just run this while you're taking a nap in the bedroom, and you just feel like you're not missing anything.
Right. You described me perfectly. 'Cause
Exactly.
I will listen to this while I'm trying to take a
Dude,
nap.
you and I
There's
need to
something
go out
soothing
and drink
about
some
it.
brown liquor together because I think
Yes.
we're on a wavelength.
Yes. Cheers, sir.
Cheers. Cheers, my friend. I'll bring the Abalura Budna.
Yes.
Jeff Jarvis.
Scotch.
All right. I'm going to, since you're going to Italy, maybe you could win this challenge, the Vesuvius Challenge.
Ooh, do you have to stand near a volcano?
Well, actually, yes, Mount Vesuvius. So there were burnt papyri discovered in the archaeological digs there.
In the ashes of the volcano. Right. And they can't read it because it's all ashy.
It's all ashy, but with machine learning and with multi-layered visual, they think that maybe they can read these, and there's $1 million challenge to figure out how to do it. X-ray
tomography and computer vision. They're reading it without opening, because if you open it, it crumbles.
It's
right?
gone. Yeah.
This is actually a Dead Sea Scroll.
Right.
And it has text from the book of Leviticus. So it shows a carbonized scroll can be digitally unrolled and read without physically opening it. Oh, this is super cool. Now they're using a particle accelerator, scan 2 full scrolls and several fragments at 4 to 8 micrometer resolution with 16 bits of density data per voxel. That is incredible. What's a voxel?
What is a voxel?
It's like a pixel, only it's
I think it's an old car that they don't make anymore.
It's a 3-dimensional pixel. Think of it that way.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Didn't know that
it's
either.
in games,
what's that Miss Stacey showing there? Was that a voxel she was showing?
Well, you got a no, she's just going to show us she could turn something on with that thing.
She's determined to turn it on.
All right, this is scrollprize.org. Grand prize $700,000. First team to read a scroll by the end of the year. If you can detect ink from X-rays by June 14th, $50,000. Wow. That's cool. This is an interesting idea.
It is. So another one here. I don't know how this ended up on my screen. It ended up in a tab. I think I accidentally clicked on an ad, but I thought it would be appropriate to our discussion about AI. Headshot Pro.
Oh, I saw this. I think it was on Twitter.
Your image.
Yeah.
And it makes 120
headshots
for you.
Yeah. We need new headshots. We should try this. So you give them your picture first.
Yes. And then they give you 3 different locations, 120 headshots per person at $29 in 2 hours.
Huh.
The only problem I have with this is the whole plasticky skin everybody has.
Yeah, look, if you scroll down, you're going to see some that look pretty.
They look fakey.
Yeah. Other than that, these are fine.
Have you
good
seen
lighting,
my
good
headshots?
scenes, good.
What do you think of this? Does that look plastic? How about that? How about that? What about that? How about that? That's my mom. I'm sorry. How about that?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. She listens.
Said hi to Mom today.
She listens. I said, I want you on the show. She says, oh, no, you don't.
Oh, it'd be like David Letterman with his mom on. Yes, we want
great.
that. Oh,
See,
yes.
That's
Mom,
my
come on the
headshot
show,
in the Discord,
please.
sir.
Oh, that's good. Did you get that? No, that
works perfect.
Who did that one? That looks good.
That Invoke.ai. I installed that because Mr. Nielsen said I should install it.
Nice.
And been playing around with it. And I think that's using the Midjourney model, I believe.
That's right next to me getting arrested. It looks just like me.
That's pretty good.
Except for the lips. I'm getting arrested for too much collagen, I think.
And denim on.
Here I am about to cry. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want. Can we use this for my new headshot? I think this will be good. This will be good. I just signed that.
Wow.
Wait, do you autograph headshots?
Once every 5 or 6 years, people will ask for an autograph.
Oh, that's cool.
It used to be a lot more. When we were at Tech TV,
they come by.
People would line up for hours, and me and Kate or Patrick would sign. But then it was interesting to watch because it slowly transformed. That was the late 90s, early 2000s. Then people started bringing digital cameras. In fact, I remember people with the Mavicas, they would write to a floppy disk. So there would be 5-10 minutes even.
While it's writing.
Okay, hold on. But over time, it got faster and faster, and pretty soon everybody had camera phones. And at some point it flipped. Nobody wanted an autograph anymore. They just wanted a selfie.
Yeah,
that's all anybody wants nowadays. But if somebody doesn't, if somebody writes in and asks, says, please send us a picture, I will. And we do that.
I think we all should have an autographed picture of Leo.
Yeah.
I think
I will send you one. Yeah. I always tell people, though, I don't want to see this in the trash as I'm going out. Please.
No,
throw it out
Framed
later.
Like my photo is framed there in a place of honor.
Say again? S-A. Oh, send us.
Oh, that's right.
You don't have, we'll pay that. We could pay. No, all right. John says, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope.
He's right.
With your request. Problem is, it's never a big enough envelope, so they get this folded up little thing. Here is, by the way, Stacey, you'll be glad to know the designs have already begun for the Punch Leo box.
Man.
Do you want the open fist with the thumb inside, or...
Well, that's punching your rear end. Punching up.
Stacey's muted herself. I like your headshot. I like my headshot.
See, I fed an actual image of mine into it.
Yeah, and I think that's what Anthony did, because this now looks a lot more like me. Anthony must have taken the...
Hey, what happened?
I changed it.
Just changed.
Yeah, I can have any expression
I see.
you want, as long as it's terror. Looks just like
as
me.
As long as it's not flattering.
Yeah, as long as it's ugly, that's what you get. I love this. I want this. That's great. Anthony, let's use that from now on.
Headshot?
Yeah, headshots. Well, it's that or this. I use...
too much. TMI.
TMI? You don't like the naked
TMI.
ones?
We don't want to see the naked.
How about this one?
All it doesn't like paintings.
This one's so creepy because of the hand that's drawing me.
What is why?
What? Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Gave you a couple with some traps, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of them are really look good.
Yo.
That's like the Donald Trump playing cards.
Here I am as the Witcher. How about that, huh?
Say, that's your Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. I am
headshot.
The Witcher.
Don't flatter yourself, Leo.
Give me a coin. That's much more like it right there. That's it.
She brings you back down to reality.
I'm just saying,
I love that.
Henry Cavill, I mean, he's quite the specimen.
This is Boris.
Like, here, let me go ahead and
Boris
get you back
the
to
Drab.
reality, sir.
I am your king, Boris the Drab. Please,
I am the end of the line.
Yes, the last of my line. Do you have a thing, Aunt Pruitt?
I do. I do now. I didn't, but
we gave you plenty of time.
I've talked about particle illusion from Boris Effects on here not too long ago, actually, because they had a free standalone version. Yes. Well, they also have a plugin that you pay for an annual subscription, but now it is 50% off if you use promo code PI plugin 50. So you'll get it for a year for, instead of $100, you get it, $50 or $45. I don't even think it's $100 for a year, but that's a pretty good deal. If you can use it as a plugin instead of a standalone, you get a little bit more flexibility and a little faster workflow. So,
and you can do your moral panic, your very own moral panic announcement.
Yes, do your very own moral panic, similar to mine, and have some good fun with it inside of good old Boris Effects.
I love that. How long before these effects companies, though, are just supplanted by AI, right? By image.
By AI, well, again, with the stuff Adobe put out yesterday with Firefly, motion graphics are part of the plan.
Yeah.
Because motion graphics are on Adobe stock that people have uploaded, and it's been training since all of those things have been uploaded. So yeah, it's
Boris the Bland says, "I like." Yes, Stacey.
Oh, is your audience, do they have new parents? Do you think there are lots of new parents in your people with babies?
Yeah. In fact, many of our hosts have new babies. Jonathan Bennett just had a baby.
Congratulations to you, Mr. Bennett.
Lou Maresca keeps having babies. Can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Hey, he's got a Sweet 16 basketball squad.
Alex Wilhelm just had a baby. We have a lot of people having babies around here. Yeah.
So Ember, the people who make the coffee mug that I get so excited about?
Yeah. They have a baby warmer?
2 weeks ago, they launched a baby bottle warmer. Which, okay.
I need a USB baby. Baby bottle warmer. This is actually a good idea.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, that should be my thing, except it's, I felt like it was pretty niche.
You should have saved that. I should have saved that.
Sorry.
Oh, it's $400.
Well, it's 2 weeks. It's $400, yeah.
Yikes.
This is like the snoo category. But if you're like, I mean.
You know what? This would be, because, like I said, a lot of our employees, friends, and family are having babies. This might be a nice twit gift for somebody like Jonathan Bennett.
That's a baby going to college.
I'm going to send this to Lisa, because I bet you she would love to pass this along to baby Ruth.
First self-warming baby bottle.
The first self-warming baby bottle.
Technology safely.
Aunt, would you rather listen to that
every time
or
and
this?
Thermal dome. The bottle's
Rhetorical question, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Play it again, Sam.
This exciting, thrilling, gripping edition of This Week in Leo's Neurotic Obsessions. So beautiful.
I love it.
I love it. That's Aunt Pruitt, maybe. From Hands On Photography. AntPruitt.com/print.
KSFO live
baby.
ATC as we watch all of the planes come in.
Do your jazz.
Downwind, battling the 30-mile-an-hour gust.
Yeah.
It's the quiet storm.
To KCTech right now.
AI can
Thank you
never
for having me,
replace
sir.
that.
Twit.tv/hands-on-photography. Thank you, Mr. P. Thanks to you, Jeff Jarvis, the director of the Town Knight Center for Entrepreneurial Journalism at the Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of New York. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon.
So we will see you next week before you go
I'll
off
be back
on the
next
walk.
week with all the smooth ATC sounds. And, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much, Miss... Oh, look at this. Here I am, going to jail.
That's a nice one.
Going to jail. You're going to enjoy this one. Going to jail.
Oh, good one.
I'm going to...
How did you get that one in?
New
How'd you
York's
sneak it in?
finest. New York's finest. Taking me in. That's the perp walk. Stacey is at staceyoniot.com. And aren't you feeling better? A little bit better now with the ATC in the background? Listen to her fine podcast with Kevin Toffel, IoT podcast. Subscribe to her newsletter. Get all that stuff.
Giddy.
Staceyoniot.com. Thank you, Stacey. We thank all of you for joining us. We do this show every, Wednesday, maybe 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern.
By the time we start, it might be Thursday. You never
Could
know.
be
Depends on how
Thursday.
much booze they're talking about on Windows Weekly.
2100. 2100 UTC. Stop by, say hi. You can watch the live stream at live.twit.tv. You can get the on-demand versions at the website, twit.tv/twig. You can watch on YouTube. Of course, you can subscribe in your favorite podcast player and get it automatically the minute it's available. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time on This Week in Google.
This is your captain speaking. Just sit back and enjoy.
You got to do the official invocation.
If that was my captain, I'd get very nervous.
Sit back.
I'd get very nervous.
Relax.
If you love all things Android, well, I've got a show for you to check out. It's called All About Android, and I'll give you 3 guesses what we talk about. We talk about Android, the latest news, hardware, apps. We answer feedback. It's me, Jason Howell, Ron Richards, WinTwit Dow, and a whole cast of awesome characters talking about the operating system that we love. You can find All About Android at twit.tv/AAA.